refrigerate at least a little bit because I ran out of water. So I'm going to enjoy some nice hot tea. Delicious tea. All right.
Fabulous rarity we have here.
Yeah, creature's starting to have a little bit of fun with the early vectors of the show, which they're a treasure to say the least.
Oh
The
yeah, the
spike
Applejack from season one.
the spike vector is the one thing that drives me the most weird because it's the only time you ever see him on all fours like that. All right, let's go ahead and get started in three, two, one. Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to the Brony Show, episode 623. And I am your host here to bring you the Brony community for, 2 weeks this time because I was out at Babscon. I am Circuit Main. But I'm not here by myself. No, I am joined by a wonderful group of panelists, talkers, and random well-wishers to also talk about random stuff. We are also joined by Deathlight Productions.
Hi.
Joined by DM21.
This weather here has gone really hot all of a sudden.
Textalion.
Hey.
Tokoi.
It's been either 90 or 50. I don't know which anymore.
And from the Otaku Ascended, Suki.
Yeah.
And yes, we are here to bring you the Brony community for this week, and 2 weeks, because I was at Babscon. I had a wonderful time at Babscon, and unfortunately, this will be our last Babscon report because this was the final Babscon. Now, of course, we'll save all of that for the actual talk about because there's quite a bit to talk about. Definitely a lot to discuss and a lot to enjoy about it. But before we do all of that, it's time to warm up our vocal cords, maybe give ourselves a nice little sip of tea, and talk a little bit about what is going on in our daily lives. And what better way to start that off than with a big, heaping, helping, ultra super deluxe double scoop load of wub. And I would like to ask all of you, as we do every week, what's up, Bronies?
Your load.
I was going for more like an ice cream scoop situation. I don't know why it came out like load.
Well, I had fun over the past 72 hours. I've worked. I've had to deal with mowing. I've had to deal with the heat and the cooling. And I got to spend 2 hours in an arcade that, for $12, I could play any of the machines that I wanted.
Honestly, not a bad way to spend.
And I didn't have to pay for Quickly.
Not a bad way to spend an evening.
Honestly, it was just nice to know that there are still places like that that are relatively new that are still trying to keep that feel alive. Because I don't know how long it's been, but in the past 10 years, I didn't know it was there.
Yeah, I think we have something similar. I say similar because I think the entry fee is a little bit lower. Last time when it was like maybe $6, but after that it was nickels the rest of the time. They called it Nickelcade.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's easy enough to get like a bunch of nickels, so it's like, yeah, it's not a big deal there.
Yeah, the way they actually probably do money is because pinballs are not included in free play, because you could, but it's smarter just to have it be token operated.
Well, the pinballs I can kind of see a little bit more because they are a lot more heavy mechanical. And yeah, you can wear out a pinball machine a lot faster than you can an arcade machine in some cases.
Yeah, because the moving parts are.
Yeah, finely
wear and
tuned
tear.
weights and whatnot, and it's like,
Yeah.
But I had fun at my stepnephew's birthday party. It was very nice. It was like seeing family, friends, and just hanging out in a nice area.
That's awesome. Well, I'm gonna go off. I can't talk a little too much about anything because most of my weekend was all Babscon related. The one thing I do have that isn't is kind of a fun little thing. I got another Kickstarter that I backed a while ago. I finally got my prizes for it, I guess you could say. TrotCon was doing a Kickstarter for plushies of all their mascots. Here you got Peanut Butter. I think it's like Cocoa, Cinnamon, and Proxy. These were basically the con mascot, the two mascots that they had during the winter TrotCon, and also the mascot that they had during the online only TrotCon. So a lot of TrotCon mascots here that I really wanted to get a hold of, so I did fund into it for 4 of them. And yeah, they finally came. It took several months. Now the fun thing is when they did come and I got the package from my front door, that was something else entirely because wow. It's kind of hard to tell, so I took multiple angles, but this box is destroyed.
That is horrible, man.
Yeah, I mean, you
The
really
story
want to.
that box could tell if it could talk.
You really want to get a look.
kick
This
it?
is what the inside of the box
Jesus.
looked like.
Like, did they kick it?
I see daylight.
Caved in. Yeah,
I don't know if they kicked it. I don't know if it was just really if it got through the machine weird. I do not know what happened to this. All I know is I'm super grateful that this happened.
Let me see. Wait, that's inside. Wait, can I see the outside of the box one more time?
Yeah, sure. Just give me one quick second. I just realized I needed to do something here real fast.
Thank you.
Oh. Okay. That is a pallet jack hitting it.
Whoa! Oh no! Oh no! That's so. They tried to stab Peanut Butter.
Yeah, basically, your box was on a pallet, and unfortunately, it got hit.
Yeah, it was
I
a
guess that
little.
would make
The forks
sense.
were a little too high.
I'm just so used to pallet jacks only being used for big stuff because all of our smaller stuff that we have shipping, we just move it all by hand.
Yeah, I mean, I figured. Yeah, like I said, I was figuring that this was like, this may have been on a pallet with like a bunch of other stuff moving between facilities at some point.
It
was, like,
probably
on the
was. It probably was, and I mean they work the people at the post office to death right now. It's completely nuts.
Yeah, and as
Yeah.
someone who's actually had to deal with pallet jack and actually, with small, heavy stuff, it can look rough because at work I have to check like, every delivery, and if there is an egg that is busted in the center, I have to say, hey, we need to send this back and get refunded.
Yeah, and I've punctured more than my few shares of soda cans with pallet jacks as well.
Oh, it is horrible whenever the bags get popped because it is.
But yeah, so luckily there was plushies. So I guess overall the best luck could have possibly happened because it was just it was plushies that got destroyed. Well, the box got destroyed. The plushies were safe, and funny enough, the pin that also came with them. I completely forgot there was a pin that did too. But it's just a
That is very nice.
Yeah, so yeah, all in all, no major losses, no major damage, just one heck of a really messed up box, and everything is okay. So yeah, I'll take what I can get.
This is why I'm cautious about ordering DVDs from places like Amazon and such, because the boxes could end up like that.
That's why you also. This is why I took photos of the box before I even opened it. You absolutely. If you get, well, I guess I can't say that because it does show I opened it. But yeah, you do want to take if you get damaged merchandise as it comes in, you definitely want to get photos of it immediately so you have proof that it came in like that. It usually helps with negotiation with arguments if you have to make them. But luckily, no harm, no real harm, no foul. Just unfortunately, my roommate misses out on another box it could have used to help with moving. No, what are you gonna do? That's all I got. Like I said, most of my stuff is Babscon related, so we're saving all of that for later. Anybody else have any other wub that they want to throw out there?
Well, you know, it's funny when you talk to people.
Yeah.
And they got old shit just hanging around.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, you can have it." I was like, "Oh, okay." So now I have 2 camper trailers.
Sweet.
You and my brother have a very fun.
You're the only one that you're the only one that know that's like, you got some old stuff hanging around. They just let me have it. It's just like, oh, you're talking about like maybe some old game consoles. No, I'm talking about camping trailers. Like, oh my god.
Yep.
How are you so lucky to get 2?
He knows people.
I know people. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Old Tony right there is completely rotten on the inside. Well, Trenny, I guess. Yeah, that's an old Trenny. Completely rotten on the inside, and it's gonna be faster just to tear it all apart and make that thing into an enclosed trailer, like I was thinking on doing anyways.
Yeah.
And last weekend, I actually gone down and looked at closer detail with a smaller teardrop. It's also just as bad, so it's gonna be faster just to tear it all apart and just rebuild it. So.
Yeah, if you look at photos of this thing.
It looks pretty good in the pictures, but then when you actually start looking at it deeper, it's like, oh.
This does not look pretty good. This does not look good. This looks really, really messed up.
A lot of water damage.
Well, but it's also, if you look at it, it's divided into panels. So you can remove a panel and put a new one in. That's what we're hoping we can do. But then when we did a closer inspection, it was all the panels.
Yeah, no, those interior walls definitely need. Yeah, pretty much. Every surface I'm seeing in there just doesn't look. It looks like. Well, I mean, maybe it's salvageable. You could, if you take them apart. If you take it apart, you might. I don't know. You might be able to clean some of them. Some of them might be set. You might be able to salvage some of it.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought too. That was my biggest hope. And last weekend I got them with a pick and started just poking around. I was like, nope, they're rotten. Like,
too soft, and
yeah.
it goes in too easy. Yeah.
Is the frame at least good?
Like you're talking about the frame for the actual camper, because that's a solid chunk of steel. It's fine.
Okay, yeah, it's gonna be a heck of a
new camper. It's whatever. It's not a big deal, honestly. It's gonna be like a few $1,000s to build a new camper.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
But it's still cheaper than buying one of these new.
Yeah.
Speaking
of other cheap projects, got a lot of work done on my race truck too.
Oh, how's that been?
I'm starting to run wires to where I'm gonna be putting the fuse box and everything, so it's getting there. It's getting to the point though where I need to start buying switches and the gauge clusters and stuff, because it's different from vehicle to vehicle. Well, different from company to company and how they want them to be set up. So, got the rear completely figured out. Got the front mostly figured out. I need to run the wires for the coils and get that all ran down and good. And then really all is left is buying the gauge clusters and the switches. And then that will tell me exactly how many fuses I need. Fuses and relays, so.
Oh, it definitely sounds like it's on its way.
Yeah. Wiring takes forever, especially when you don't actually have wiring and you're just grabbing a bunch of stuff out of the old wiring loom. I was like, oh, that's long enough, just yanking it out. Yep, same gauge, it works. It takes a little bit longer.
I imagine so. Alright.
But it's all free. I still have yet to spend not even 1,500 on this truck yet. But it's really killing in time.
Well, thanks to your connections.
All right. And now, all right. Anybody else have any other What's Up Brony they want to throw out there before we get into the news?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to get a copy of Sonic 3 or Blu-ray.
Oh,
That's nice.
okay. That is cool. That is awesome.
Yeah, they hardly had any copies left at Walmart when I went there today.
That's just kind of surprising, to be honest. But also, I guess it's kind of a good sign that physical media is still desired.
Yeah, I was more surprised when you said Blu-ray. I'm like, whoa, physical media?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I'm 100% with it. I so much go for physical media if at all possible. At least even now, more days. But
I know, right?
yeah, but that's a whole nother, that's a mess and a half. Rather not get too far into. But get DVDs, everybody. Get DVDs. Anyway, anybody else have any other What's Up, Brony, they want to get in there? All right. Let's go ahead and get started with the news here. We're, of course, going to go into Pony Convention so we can start to have a conniption with how close they're coming already. Speaking of coming close, Griffish Isles is already a few days away over in Manchester, UK. If you are across the pond, I definitely say go ahead and get into it. Have some fun. I hope you have a blast. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun over there. I honestly...
Well, a lot more online conventions this year.
We've had quite a few concerts pop up here, but yeah, we'll get into those in just a second. But yeah, Griffish Isles, definitely a good fun time. We also have Something Social, which is a full multimedia event that will be in 3 weeks and 3 days from now. So it sounds like it contributes a lot more than just music. It may have a lot of video content and other things like that. I am on their Discord. I've just been kind of getting little glimpses and pieces. I basically, right after Babscon, I said, no, I'm not doing anything for a week. So I haven't played catch up on anything yet. Outside of the show, of course. And getting healthy again. But yeah,
The hard part.
But Something Social is probably going to be the next thing we really take a good close look at because we can actually attend it. But
I love the online conventions.
But along with that, and I think I feel like it's got to be related because it's on the same weekend. We have Acid Unicorns, a semi-annual audio-visual event where Captive Unicorns server members share creative performances on an online concert. All creative endeavors are accepted, including music, art, vlogs, and film. Boy, this sounds very familiar somehow. So yeah,
We'll have to check the archives.
we might have to take a look into this as well. I don't know if it's related to Something Social, though. It has the same rhythm as it. It could be something completely separate at the same time, but usually they don't time these things at the same time. So I have a feeling it's related. But we'll definitely have more information on both of these as we get closer to it. And then right after that, we of course have Epona Fest over in Italy. That will be at the end of May, which is, yeah, so that's going to be exciting. And of course, for those of you who are curious, the next convention I am going to be attending is going to be Clear and Everfree Northwest. Well, outside of the online and digital conventions, of course, but the physical convention that is pony related. I got to be specific about that because thinking about it, there's, I think, an anime convention and another convention that I am probably going to be going to before Everfree. But Everfree, I'm definitely going to be going.
Okay, August. August is when Everfree's happening. I'm looking at the past events for Acid Unicorns. They started their actual thing in June 13th, 2021. And the latest one was August of last year.
I'll probably take a look into that and see if we can get a taste of what they're all about. It really is awesome seeing all of these different conventions. By the way, Heartswarming Club. I wish I could go. I would actually love to go to a Christmas pony convention again.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah, but the problem with this one, even if I did have the funds, is it's a 150 user cap. They don't have a lot of space for a lot of bronies, so it's very limited spacing. And it's very likely they're going to sell out before you even know it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
second, I sent you the Acid Unicorns for future reference.
Excellent. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Because we've got quite a bit of news. We got 2 weeks worth of news, so we got to get started on that. Let's start off with the next, and I'm hoping not the last, but we haven't heard anything since it. The Tournament of Mysteries G5 comic is soon to be coming out. This is the last of the 4 that were announced, including the Case of the Missing Puff, the Rise of Cadence, and also the one with the two extra characters, including a zebra. I can't remember their names, and I feel bad because we want to say it's not Velvet Remedy. Izzy's Apprentice.
The
Violet Rainbow.
Violet Rainbow.
That is.
Yeah, Violet Rainbow. Yeah, but yeah, her and her friend. But yeah, Tournament of Mysteries is the last one that has been announced so far. There is a possibility more may be announced, or this may be the last one. I can't say one way or another. But it does look pretty awesome looking at the art style of the 3-page preview that we have here.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the smiles. I mean, dear God, those teeth are huge.
Jesus.
Yep.
I mean, look at.
Also, I know the sunglasses.
I'm sorry, just look at Misty's mouth there. She's more tooth than pony.
Also, at times the sunglasses make them look like they have lifeless doll eyes.
What are you talking about? The sunglasses?
Okay, back out of this.
All right, I'm back in.
Scroll down. One more. Side view to that bottom panel.
I don't see no lifeless eyes.
I don't see
glasses.
anything of that.
Well,
I mean, I have my question
shades
about this.
come-
I have my question about what's going on with this guy's haunches.
Oh my god.
This is peak male performance. You cannot be upset.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I like this art style just because it's so different from everything we've seen, even with the
It's
giant
so-
mouths.
It's so squishy.
Yeah, it's got a very squishy feel to it. I like it.
Yeah.
They're made
Motion
of
stretch.
they're made of putty.
They're made of pony. Okay, we're gonna move away from this. But yeah,
Oh, no, I just noticed something else. Where are the freaking things holding the glasses in place?
we're not talking about that. We're not. If we get into how are sunglasses working on a pony's head, we will be here all day. It's not.
Yeah.
We all know this.
Oh, look at those faces.
Oh God,
Those children look too damn happy.
what is with all the Delver smiling? Oh my God. Oh no.
Hey,
Now, see, that is
oh,
haunting right there. That is freaky.
They want to eat our souls.
Seriously, oh God, this is like nightmare fuel. What are they doing?
Yeah, see, that's the scary one right there.
I can do it.
Oh, this is such. I mean, I get they're trying to be cheery, but oh dear God. This is...
There's a fine line between cheery and creepy, and you are on it.
Oh God, there's so much
What
about
timeline is
this.
Ah, the meme.
There's so much.
This is fine.
Honestly, this is the most beautiful thing right here. This. Okay, we're gonna walk
Imagine
away
that
from this.
they all
Just
folded with
the horrible grinning ponies are just. Oh my God.
Could you imagine being in a call with somebody and you just hear sirens and people crying and yelling? It's like, yeah, everything's great. How you doing?
No. You hear the sirens and wailing, and oh, by the way, I think Whiskers is missing. Just so nonchalant about the whole thing. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the other news. Well, we've had something funny. Now, who's ready to open up their wallets?
No.
I mean, you're going to be opening up your wallets. I did not see this coming, and I want to open up my wallets. And that's right, wallets, plural. I want to buy a wallet just to open it up.
I need a new computer chair. I can't do this.
3 deluxe plushies have been listed by Symbiote. Sunset Shimmer, Trixie, and Fluttershy. Now, why are they deluxe? Sunset
Oh my
Shimmer has a
God.
leather jacket with a collar. I don't know if the piano and the guitar thing comes with her, but the leather jacket and collar definitely does. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah, I'm
just the leather
guessing it's
jacket.
probably just the
Yeah.
jacket and stuff.
Fluttershy comes with her own angel bunny.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Hear that, bunny? Hear that, angel? You're an accessory now.
And Trixie has her cape, hat, and a magic wand.
It looks like Sailor Moon's wand.
Yeah, and looking at the actual things on the site, it is just the jacket and
Yeah, but it's a jet. But she has a new hat. Simpsons joke if anybody gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I don't know if it's available yet, or hopefully they didn't sell out already. That would be sucky. But yeah, it looks like it's $40, which if all of them hold out, it would be. That is not quite where I needed. There we go. Yeah, most of the pony plushies are about $30. Outside of the either the jumbo ones. Ooh, the Rainbow Dash Jumbo is available now.
Mm-hmm.
But
pay $10 extra for the jacket. Be happy.
yeah, you base $10 extra for the accessories. Because Fluttershy does come with Angel Bunny, and Trixie comes with the hat and cape and all that. The jacket looks really good, though. I'm not gonna lie; it actually does have a good look to it. So
It's a good jacket.
it says you can always get Sunset Shimmer. Actually, even better, they get the Sunset Shimmer right here. You see her happy face. She's got the smug look. They smugged her.
I want that just for the smug.
Yeah, $10 for smug. I will happily pay $10 for smug.
But it's not available.
Here's $10. Give me my smug.
Give me the smug horse.
Give me smug
Give me
horse.
the collar and the jacket.
Smug horse, smug horse, smug horse, so smug. She has a leather jacket, a collar, and 2, and she costs about $10. So whatever. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I would recommend checking it out. I honestly would love to do it myself. I have to save up money right now. I'm done with Babs. I got to get ready for Everfree, and that means
I
money.
need my computer chair, and I can't.
also
have
I did a
the
quick
dog.
look for like costumes, and yeah, like $10 for an extra costume. That's not too bad on top of what we already got for the plushies.
Yeah, she's smug. So smug. Actually, really quick, I'm curious. The Fluttershy. Oh, the Fluttershy. Wow, they all have different expressions, except maybe. No.
Yep, that's the other part about this.
Yeah, they all even the deluxes have their own expressions too. So. Yeah, so it's not like they just took the plushies they already have and just put them in a new hat. They actually put some effort behind it. So, absolute kudos to them, to Symbiote, for actually putting some
It
effort.
would have been too. It would have been too easy to do that.
It would have been so easy, and I don't think anybody would have blinked. But no, they actually went that a little bit further, and I love that little bit further. Even if it's just a little bit, it's still a little bit. All right, so yep, let's go ahead and move on there. Now that you know the plushies exist, now it's time to talk about another horse show, Wild Manes. Yep, we still got more Wild Manes coming. Another episode has popped up. This one, of course, dealing with why you shouldn't take weird plants from their natural environment and take them home with you, because they could be parasitic in nature.
Don't mess with the ecosystem.
Don't mess with people's ecosystems. Don't mess with nature. They're there for a reason. I don't care. We don't care if you think it's cute and cuddly. It can destroy the balances of life just because you wanted to have that cute flower in your backyard. But yeah, it's a fun little episode. I recommend checking it out. Next, for those of you who want other pony merchandise, a book has been kickstarted called The Mareshin. This is, of course, actually, I believe I read from, I think it's Kevin Overstreet. Yeah, Chris Overstreet, my bad. Chris Overstreet, who has done quite a few different pony books already. But yeah, this one he is doing a Kickstarter, which has already been funded at this point. So anything you get at this point is gravy. So the you can get a PDF of the book, you can get a paperback of the book, an unabridged version apparently, and also he did Changeling Space. He also did Changeling Space Program, which he is also doing a funding to get into that as well. If you haven't had a chance to get into Changeling Space Program, which I actually did buy the book and I read it while I was in training at my work, and I thought it was really good. I finished it, which tells you a lot right there.
Oh, this is just another add-on tier to get another book with a book.
Well, it starts off. It's essentially this whole thing is for the Marishin itself, a full physical print of the book, but you can also get into other books and other add-ons and merchandise things such as like names, patches, a lot of other fun stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, that's an extra book. I'm getting the extra book.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot to go on. There's a lot here. Ooh, shiny home rainbow coin. Cool.
Ooh, shiny.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a Kickstarter that is going on for the next 20 days. So you have almost 3 weeks left. If you're still recovering from Babscon, hopefully that gives you enough time, myself included, to get involved into this and get some funding in here. But yeah, it's essentially already made its goal. So if you get in, you're almost all but guaranteed to get the book because they already got the funding for it at this point. And I love it when a Kickstarter's like that. It's already got the funding. So yeah, you know, it's not a wait and see if they fund it. They've got it funded. You're good. You just got to get in there before it's too late. Anyway, moving on. Oh, I can't believe this happened. We were gone during the most eventful moment in all of internet history. I don't know how to feel about this. All right. Okay, I'm gonna put this tab up because I want to make sure I got the chat rooms up. I'm sure a lot of chatter's about to happen here. Just please let me get out what happened, what is going on, and what has happened before we really start talking over one another. So, for those of you who have not paid attention, it appears last week or 2 weeks ago. Actually, it kind of happened as we were getting ready to go to Babscon.
I remember this. I remember this.
4chan went down. It was hacked and it went down hard. Fully hacked, accounts compromised. Apparently, they got access to the entire owner and moderator list, including contact information. There was rumors. And I say there were rumors because I don't know if anybody actually confirmed this or not, that they even had the contact information of anybody that ever posted in 4chan. If they provided the contact information in there. I don't know. I was able to...
.gov accounts.
There was rumors of that too. There was rumors of that too. I can't confirm that either.
Remember, these are rumors. They have not been...
Well... what has been told and what is the truth are two radically different things, which I can't believe we have to say in this day and age.
No, it's always been that way. We just
anyway. So essentially, what this ultimately boils down to, what had happened, 4chan was taken down, and apparently it was due to the fact that nobody updated 4chan security since 2016. And it is very easy to run scripting applications through an image uploader if you are smart enough. So yeah, it got hacked. It was taken down, and some people heralded it like it was the end of an era. Some people figured it was like the Hydra. They cut off the head, and several more were going to take its place all over the internet, and all sorts of stuff. Granted, you can see from here, it's back. 4chan is up and going at the moment. It looks like the But at the moment, they are still working on updates. They're trying to fix things up. But yeah, I literally just loaded it up right now, and I'm able to load up 4chan. It's here. The pony page is still here. Luckily,
It might be in read-only mode.
You know what? Bet. Okay, there it is. Let's see. Nope. You are able to post. Anybody?
Alright, so it's updated since the last I heard.
It has been updated more, and yeah. So 4chan was dead, and now it's back. However you make of that is up to you. Personally, I'm kind of ambivalent. It does have some really sucky people, some really terrible sucky people, but I've also seen a lot of cool and creative things coming out of it. So I just kind of
take the good with bad.
I kind of call it a wash altogether. You know, I applaud the people doing good things, and I don't.
And we shake our heads at the people doing bad because we can't control them.
More like a finger wag, but you know, I'm not going to condone any bad activities on that at all, ever, because I don't. What's the point? Anyway,
We are hive mind. Just because one of us does bad does not mean we all bad.
Anyway, but yeah, so yeah, we missed out on 4chan going down and coming back up while we were out on Babscon break. Go figure, right?
Oh, I know. The one major news thing that isn't just our standard hullabaloo.
Well, we also
And
we also got another bit of stupidity here. Netflix, thank you. So, ponies are back on Netflix. Kind of. This is really dumb. Because it only has the first episode of the first 4 seasons.
I've just been
What?
rewatching it on their
I
channel
am-
on YouTube.
I'm not kidding. I'm absolutely not kidding. I actually checked this yesterday just to see if maybe this changed since this article was posted. No! They only have episode 1. The night lasted forever. Discord caused chaos, and I don't remember what happened at the beginning of season 4, but essentially all of the 2-part openings never got I don't have the second parts on Netflix. Nobody knows why. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Season 4 was the when the garden took the force took over.
Yeah, where we had the flashback to the actual battle that everyone went, oh, it wasn't as epic as we thought. Still epic, but not as epic as we thought.
That was episode 2. You didn't get to see that.
Yeah.
No, wait. That was the, oh my god, Twilight has wings. What are we going to do?
Anyway.
Oh, back when the fandom was losing shit.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying. I know I was. Here we go. So
I
yeah,
saw
just
that
to
the
give an
seasons were
idea.
back, but I didn't know it was this bad.
Oh yeah, the Crystal Empire. It was season 3.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
That's why
Crystal.
we didn't do it.
We got just 4 part 1s. This is terrible and hilarious.
Yeah, this is just funny.
Oh, this is so. Oh, I don't
Can't
know
make
what.
this shit up.
I literally don't know what's gonna happen at this point. They might end up uploading the rest of them eventually. Apparently, this is not an immediate issue. Well, I don't know what's happening. I just don't know what's happening. This is
It's
stupid.
Netflix, we don't.
We don't question it, but yeah, I mean, even if Netflix was trying to drum up interest, this is the worst way to do it.
Plus, free option that we don't have to sail the seas for.
Yeah, but anyway, so there you go. Netflix, thank you, I guess. Maybe? Alright, here's another...
Why are you doing this? We're all confused.
The same reason that somebody does this. Apparently, somebody has been doing this lately. I'm only bringing attention to it just because it's sheer weirdness. But I'm never going to probably watch these videos at all, ever. But I do want to bring attention to it at least. But apparently somebody has generated 3 CG ponies that uses essentially AI to read questions from YouTube. First mistake. and respond to them as the princesses. So, yeah, this is the thing. And yeah, the questions are obviously... The questions are not scrubbed at all, so, yeah. If you want to watch it, just be prepared. It's going to be nasty and horrible and messed up beyond all words.
It'll still be just for kids.
It is fascinating to see this, but that is literally it. It's just fascinating. Honestly, there are many better things to do with your time. So many better things.
Also, the fact that they went with the Molly version of Celestia.
No, that's just a coloring thing with the CG.
Yeah.
But here's something you can do with your time instead. Ponies at Dawn has announced a new album called Limelight.
Ooh.
This will be released on the 10th of May, and they already have a little teaser out for you to enjoy some music. And
yeah, go and listen to Rush.
And you can also go onto Bandcamp right now and reserve your copy of it. I have already done so. So the day that it comes out, I'm going to be able to listen to it. Honestly, I would recommend doing the same. It is, of course, the same as previous Ponies at Dawn, which is it's pay what you want. You can pay as little or as much as you want, and you will have a copy of it for now until, I can't say the end of time, but until Bandcamp no longer exists. And
put it into a CD, you'll have it forever.
Or until the CD breaks or gets spent in half.
Oh, that's weird. I wonder, did I miss an album somewhere in Ponies at Dawn? Huh.
Uh-oh.
It's possible. They do have fun with that.
They have so many, I've lost count of which ones I have or don't have.
Yeah. They have quite a few, but that's also the fun thing about the digital discography. If you really wanted, you could just pay pennies and have literally 100, like so many hours of Brony music from Brony musicians. These are all Brony musicians. They're all contributed to part of this, and I believe it actually goes to a good cause as well. So it's not just, there's so much goodness here, especially if you love music. I 100% encourage people to check it out if you have any interest in music.
There's gonna be a lot of links in the show notes this time around.
Yeah, I mean we're flooded with show notes, which means we gotta get moving. Let's go a little bit further here. Festival of Lanterns. This one is interesting. This is based off a game called Lanterns, and they ponified it. This is over at Renegade Studios. This has nothing to do with either the card game or the book RPG. It is their own separate creation. I wish I could talk more about this, but I didn't have time or money to get this yet, so I don't have a copy of this yet. And I'm planning on picking up a copy at some point here soon because, so far I've been keeping up with all of this and I don't want to miss out. But yeah, Festival of Lanterns. Be sure to check it out, especially if you like ponies and some lanterns, I guess.
Lamp.
Next. Now, here's something for all of you creative types out there, and I mean all of you creative types. The Friendship is Forever 15th Anniversary Fanzine is looking for contributors. This is a full-on fan-made project for fans, by fans, and it is going to be a massive undertaking. Looking up a full-on zine, and they are asking for everything. They're looking for artists. They're looking for writers. They are looking... Let's see. Artists, writers, creative people. Basically, they are looking for a lot of people to contribute to this.
For the uneducated amongst us, what is a zine?
You know what? I'm about as I have my assumption, and I realized I probably should have actually looked into this.
Okay, so whole story.
What is that?
Before the internet, before all this fun stuff that we could post everywhere. No, this is an actual thing. People made fan magazines of certain things where people could submit fan fiction, do art, and give their takes on, well, I think this is how a story should go.
A zine is a small circulation of self-published work of original or appropriated text and images, usually reproduced via copy machine. Zines are the product of either a single person or a very small group. In this case, since it's digital, I'm guessing it's a larger than small group, and are popularly photocopied into physical prints for circulation.
Okay, so basically you could have just said old fandom stuff. Got
Well,
it.
it's basically it's a fan-made magazine,
Old fan
essentially.
fiction.
Yeah,
It's a fan-made
was
magazine. A fan-made magazine would be the best way to put it.
Was
Well,
I not on point there?
yeah, a little more or less, I suppose. But it's also more fun to bring out the literal dictionary definition.
No, I understand, but that also gave me time to get the literal dictionary.
Anyway. But yeah, essentially this is going to be a fan-made magazine to celebrate the 15th anniversary, and they're looking for people to contribute whatever they can in arting, writers, and apparently there's also going to be merch involved with this.
But it's only 2 days away from recording.
Unfortunately, that is the problem here. This has been going on for a little while, and this is going to be ending in just a couple of days. So if you know anybody, or you are somebody, and you're watching this live, let them know now. You go now. Do something right now. Don't sit on this. If you're watching this on archive, you are probably too late. I wish I was a better artist. I might actually try to contribute. I'm not there yet. Not by a long shot.
I wish I was a better writer, so I might have contributed something like this.
But yes, it's a really cool thing, though, and I am definitely going to try to get my own copy of it when it finishes. Mostly because this is also the stuff I live for. All right, let's move on. So next, we had something cool. Now let's have something interesting. Tamers has released another video. Of course, this one, funny enough, is able to be played right now as we speak. But we have already too many videos as is, and Tamers is such a interesting interesting.
Wild
thing.
God is the best option here.
Oh my god.
So do check it out though, especially if once again if you know who this is, you know what you're getting into. If you don't know who this is, imagine really early 2000s internet humor and ponies, and just kind of go with it from there. Just be ready. You will probably get offended at something.
I'm offended.
But it also apparently it has pretty decent writing, pretty decent stories. They for one person's work, they make a lot into it, and I don't know. It's just
the vector.
I think that it's just wild stuff. So. Oh my god, they got Stephen Hawking pony. We're out. We're walking away now.
Run away.
Okay. Next, let's talk.
Else is not impressed with Tamers.
Let's talk about Caillou, the Chinese card company that is taking ponies to another level.
I'm at another level.
I mean this. So Caillou has done quite a lot in the last couple of weeks. Starting off, we got a pop-up shop with lots of pony merchandise that showed up. Now, some of you are curious about some of these cards. We're going to get into that.
Fabulous.
We are going to get into this because this is going to get interesting real fast. But yeah, they had a bunch of figures. They had some really awesome background images. Caillou has really been hitting it out with when it comes to pony merch. And it really makes you say, we could have had this in the U.S. Why did you cheap out, Hasbro? This could have been you. You could have been a contender.
Hasbro got taken over by Asshat and ruined everything.
Yeah, he's not wrong with that, but also second, it's third party. They can do crazier stuff.
Yeah, but Hasbro also has been licensing to third parties. Why the third parties are cheaping out too? Anyway, I'm moving on. All right. Also, Caillou. There's a reason that the pop-up shop came up. Caillou is setting up for a trading card pony game called Friendship Set Sail. Well, this case it's Friendship Set Sail. I don't know if that's the name of the entire series or just this particular one.
Andy Price.
Oh my God, Andy Price is also being part of this.
Oh yeah,
Andy Price, Andy Memberson, Tony Fleeks, Sarah Richard.
Tony?
they are getting some amazing artists to get into these cards.
Brenda
Well,
Hickley.
yeah, at
Lot of-
Harmony Con, they talked about this.
Yeah,
A lot of grade A artists. That's kind of surprising, honestly.
yeah. No,
Well, also, it's one of those ways that Hasbro can keep tabs on these people because
why are you making it sound like that the government? Like you got the Hasbro fans outside of the biz. Okay, Andy Price, has he moved yet? Is Andy Price still drawing ponies? What? He's drawing Marvel? How dare he? What are you talking about? Keep tabs on these people.
there are people like that.
But they are
Some of these
not.
companies are like governments in a way.
I know, but I literally don't think they can do that.
Well,
You want to bet?
Underestimate the power.
I don't think. I'd rather not be tested on that. Let's go ahead and keep moving on. But yeah, trading card game with Caillou and a lot of amazing art and cards coming up. And the thing, now some of you might be worried, oh no, this sucks because Caillou is a Chinese company.
Well, they're coming with an English one, last I've heard.
You're absolutely right, and this is one of them. The global
global
launch of this game. This is going to be a full-on global release, which hopefully means that it won't be horribly expensive to try to get cards of in the near future.
Oh, is that a sketch? That's a freaking sketch.
Well,
that's awesome.
it could be early concept of what they're planning.
No, that's a theme
But
card.
yeah, it looks like you got main character cards, scene cards, story cards, character cards. Apparently, they're unrelated to each other.
Wait, they redrew a scene from the show. Damn.
Yeah, no, they're not cheaping out on this. They are putting a lot of crazy,
God
wild
damn, that's
effort.
a lot of TLC.
There's a lot going in
please.
here. This is, yeah, if you are a third party and you got a license of something amazing, this is how you do it.
This is how you do it.
South China does it like nobody does. And in fact, they're doing it so well, they apparently have the license for this until 2029.
Wow.
I see what Hasbro's like. Yeah, we don't have to make this. All right, have fun.
That's a lovely
Yeah.
rarity.
And they start. Wow, so it's like almost a decades-long license. That's pretty impressive, honestly.
Yeah, and it is going up gangbusters. They are knocking this so far out of the park. This actually might end up being a complete offshoot of G4 that breeds a whole new side of the fandom, which I'm both excited and terrified for. But I'm mostly excited.
So excited. I'm so excited.
Gonna
We
have,
are
like, just
redoing
hyper-
that version of Saved by the Bell.
I'm so excited. My throat's on fire. I probably should get some water right now, but I'm going to move on now. All right. We also have a Moon Edition series of trading cards. So not only are we getting playing cards, we're getting trading cards, and these are also getting set for an English release. And if it isn't already easy to tell, I mean, look, you can actually read this without using Google Lens. Where ink and brush weave tales of wonder, mountains and rivers dance through season's spell. My Little Pony for Season Splendor, a magical collection where artistry and friendship dwell. They could have flowed that a little better.
Well, it just what happens when you translate
Yeah.
poetry. It doesn't really work a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though it feels like it had to go through some translation because that is grammatically correct. It just doesn't have a
Yeah.
good flow.
It just doesn't flow quite right.
Well, I flowed better in another language, though.
But in all honesty, yeah, these are some of the cards that are going to be coming out to the U.S. and oh my, this is going to lead to some crazy fan art at this point.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Whoa, we even got some background characters too. That's great.
Yeah. No, Caillou really does the work on these. I have been so impressed looking at all of the cards and trying to get a hold of them too. I mean, I got more than a few, and I do give them out at cons when I have duplicates.
Amazing.
And I also gave out. Well, I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later too, because I'm also did a cheap.
Spoilers.
I did a cheap, funny thing, but okay, we're gonna skip that tab because that'll be a good start off here. But next Top 10 Brony music of March 2025. I talked about this before. I'll talk about this again. Brony music is amazing. It was so amazing. They literally were able to start to do their own concert for the end of Babscon called Mayhem, and it actually had a really good turnout. So much so that they even filled had people in the balcony seats, which they did not expect to happen. It had a really good turnout. A lot of great music is played. Musicians are beloved in the Brony fandom because that's like one of the big parts of the Brony fandom. And so
like Rockstar, it's like Rockstar territory.
In a way, yeah. But along with that, it also means that more people try to get in, and sometimes we might miss out on them. But they make some great music, and that's why I always shout out these top Brony musics, because you might miss some really awesome music from newcomers, or you might miss some awesome music that one of your favorites might have made, then you just haven't heard because you wanted to listen to Discord for the 100th time. Which, how dare you, you jerk! You're the reason that those two dun-duns, every time everybody hears them, we immediately know what it is. It's like freaking prairie dogs in one of those wilderness scenes, suddenly perking up out of a hole, just like, what was that? Is that Discord? Just because.
Well, it's just as bad, buddy. Like, it's the same thing for Undertale, Megalovania.
Yeah.
You
just get that. Yeah, you just get those few bars, and then immediately it's just like a bunch of Undertale fans just poking out a hole. Hey, what was that?
Everybody knows.
You know what it is.
You know what's crazier? I still every now and again just hear commercials, like for like Taco Bell and stuff like that. Just listening to music, and that still pops in every now and again. Like somebody thought it was really funny to use Megalovania for the background music for like a Taco Bell ad at some point. It was hilarious to me.
That is really weird. But
it was funny.
Now, here's something fun that actually happened, and funny enough, I actually have 3 copies of the comm book by accident. I don't know how this happened. But the Babscon comm book, the front cover had a awesome little piece of art by Andy Price.
Yes.
Oh my god.
The slumber party.
Sleepover.
Yeah, the sleepover slumber party. Truly a great. Though I have to question why in the world they're doing a bridal raid with something with a bunch of kids. That is.
I don't know.
That is questionable as hell.
I'm 100% with Luna though. She's like out cold before the sun even goes down.
Always Celestia.
I'm done.
Yeah. But yeah, it's an awesome
Niagara Falls.
Awesome little bit of art here. Have a lot of the voice actors that were there, just the fun little references.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's one of those things. I don't really think it's a bridal. No, that is, and I see what you mean. I was like, "What's a bridal raid?" And then I went, "Oh."
Yeah, it takes a second, but you get it. All right,
yeah.
So next we're going to do our content creation with our challenge of the week. Now, instead of doing the cold dust summoning, I'm going to go quickly grab a drink, and I'm going to see if he mysteriously shows up before I get back. So I'll be back in a quick second. Go ahead and entertain our audience, everybody.
I know he's let us be in charge. Guys, what do we do?
We need to be awkwardly silent the whole time he's gone.
Waffles, buy tasty waffles, and don't forget cold syrup to go with them.
Remember to watch Cole's favorite show, Cole Feather and Me.
Hello.
I wasn't
you
intending
came
to
back
use
before
the
you
dust,
came back.
but it works.
No,
You came back
here's the
with
thing.
your
We
sticker
weren't
tape.
going to summon Cole. Cole knows that he is needed.
And I have returned, and it looks like it worked. Hi, Coldust.
Hello.
All right, so our challenge of the week, well, challenge of 2 weeks apparently. Our challenge of 2 weeks was by random choice on a random wheel from all of you was puns. But we also had a protest initiative challenge, didn't we?
Yes, the protest initiative challenge was the Brony Show 623, the final Babscon. In a few moments, on your favorite Brony Show stream.
Yes. The final Babscon. We had to predict what was going to happen or draw as it was happening. Unfortunately,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. It was golfing with friends. Wait, no, it's not that either.
It's somewhere in the announcements. I know I put it there.
Oh, I'm absolutely sure you did. Otherwise, I think I might have drawn the wrong thing. Though.
It's one of the messages from me without and at everyone.
Wait, that's it. Oil of Ohay. Did that really have?
Yes.
Okay.
No, the Protest Initiative Challenge this week was the Protest Initiative Challenge this week: instrument.
We got there in the end. Good job.
No, he didn't. He didn't get there.
He did.
Wait, no, he
I
did.
think he got there at the end.
I'm very tired.
But
I'm sorry.
It took the full thing, yes.
Okay, sorry. I don't know why. I just thought he was reading the challenge of the week again for some reason.
I don't know why she swallowed a fly. I guess she'll die.
All right, so
Or
the
you
Protest
pick up
Initiative
tutu.
Challenge. Now this one, I'm not gonna lie. I basically had to had to sketch this together at work while I was dealing with a lot of work because we didn't have as many people. We were doing a lot more work, and apparently somebody cranked up the stupidity to 11 today, as it's wont to do. And I also wanted to try something a little bit different for the art, so I made this.
My anticipation is killing me.
I don't know, Pony. It looks like a tuba to me.
It's not a tuba though.
It is not a tuba.
It's not.
That's a fruit. I want to say sousaphone.
Yes.
Actually, it is exactly right. It's a sousaphone.
Yay!
Sorta.
Thank you, kids next door.
It's not a tuba.
It's a tuba.
It's not a tuba. Of course,
It's a sousaphone with all of its tuning things hidden behind its outer tube.
Do you know how hard it was to draw that thing in the hurry that I was doing this?
Yeah.
You learn
Next time
something
I
new
wanna see
every
you draw
day.
a trombone suicide.
But yeah, no, the sousaphone is literally the thing that you literally wrap around yourself. It is a big circular thing that you rest on your shoulder and you blow into it. But for some reason, a lot of people associate it with the tuba.
Well, it's because you replace the tuba for that for marching band.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically a marching instrument that is the same range as a tuba, though it is not a marching tuba. A marching tuba is, well, you hold it like a bazooka.
Yeah. Shoulder on his shoulder.
You need arm strength, shoulder strength, and every strength.
Yeah, you think the football players are tough. Try being in the marching band with a tuba.
Oh, it's even better because you wear thin, flat-soled shoes a lot of times. Like, go march 5 miles. You're like, okay.
And I'm
Oh,
flat-footed to boot. It was not fun. I didn't use a
Or
tuba.
try marching next to the sousaphones when they choose to do fun things during the cadences, like throw the instrument around.
Oh, yeah.
They swing it all the way around.
Yeah, I remember
Those bells hurt.
I remember our people doing that. Yeah, it's just.
And you know, I played the trombone, so you can imagine the shenanigans we did. Sword fighting was not off the table.
Yeah, I had a saxophone, so nothing like that. Mostly we're just spending.
Sword fighting is always off the table with the trombones. You don't want to bend your slide.
No, it's fine until it gets hit.
You know, the sword fighting's okay until you actually hit them.
I
It's all
never
fun and
could beat
games
that
until
because
someone
we didn't
rents
have
it
the
to
money for it.
It's all fun games until someone ruins a euphorium.
I don't know if it was. Wow, we got a
Euphoriums
lot
are
of people.
fine.
We got a lot of people that were in the marching band in this, don't we?
I was in band. Who else was in band?
I was in band.
Oh, we all were. Cool.
It sounds like It sounds like almost all of us were in band. That's actually funny.
I was in orchestra.
No, I just
Yeah.
watched. I just watched
No, that's
recently
the band
Sound.
call.
All right.
No, I just watched the anime Sound Euphorium recently.
Yeah, I was in band, which is technically orchestra for our stuff, and then on top of that, I was also in choir. So.
Oh yeah,
Alright.
I was in chorus.
Yeah.
If you weren't in band, you were in chorus. That seems to be what a lot of schools did,
Oh,
I-
it's in
I'm-
both.
or at least my school.
Chorus and orchestra.
Yeah. But anyway, for this one, I did something a little bit different with the art. I did a pencil sketching of the lines, and then instead of black lining it or color lining, I just immediately went for trying to color it as best I can.
I like it. I like it.
It's good.
It's
Not
definitely an
bad,
interesting
not bad.
flair. Of course, there's a lot of draw overlap because I didn't clean up some lines, as you can tell.
Hey,
It's all
That's
good.
fine.
needing
And-
to be inside the lines is a lie.
Yeah, I
Yes.
know.
Make
I know.
it as fun as you want it to be.
What was the
If
biggest
your
life
fun
school
requires
taught you?
going fast, then it's fun and good.
Yeah, and I can't tell you how many times I redrew these freaking arms. Even while
don't
I
see
was
no
lining
arms.
it, I did. Oh crap! I accidentally forgot to color that. You can see there's some parts I did not color. I did not quite get to the coloring of them. Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see no arm circuit. I just see more legs.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
just know your
I
current
see.
arm
Okay, I
posi-
get it. I get the joke. Okay, yeah.
I just know your current upper arm positions there are not for playing, they're just for holding.
He's basically holding the
Yeah.
damn thing, so yeah. The whole
Yeah, I
thing
think-
was to just hold it because I don't even want to think how in the hell is a pony going to play a freaking instrument even with 3 plungers on it.
Well, you just have your shoulder locked, and you put your elbow clear back, and there you go. You can press the buttons.
Yeah.
Very uncomfortable.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so the whole point was just a joke. It's not the tuba, and trying to get it sketched and colored while I was busy juggling both work and also trying to do it during the pre-show because I did not have time before the pre-show due to napping and beat sabering exercise.
Good for you.
Yes.
Get those naps in.
I had to get that nap in. I did not sleep all that well last night. But anyway, so yeah, it's not the tuba and different coloring style. I still managed to pull off some random shenanigans while I was at it. And of course, it looks like Toa... Oh, Toa did one thing, but it really confused me for a second there.
A harpsichord.
No. I would hop on this, but I would be lying.
No, there's a better way to do that. You messed up the pun.
You're a liar.
Yes, I would harp on this, but I'm a liar. Say lion. You said lion. There's what the hell. You had the pun and you flipped it.
Yes, I did flub it, but you all got the joke anyways.
Yeah, fair enough. We got the joke. All right. So, yep.
And if anyone's a lion around here, it's me with all my lions.
You did see that Lion King land coming to Disneyland Paris I sent you, right?
You just have to
Is
read
interesting.
between the lines to understand.
Oh my hell.
See, there we go. Now, here's the funny thing about this. This circuit, I think it may have been an hour and a half of total actual drawing time in between everything going on. And maybe a little bit more coloring. I actually did a Twilight Sparkle that I put a significant amount more effort into.
Why am I looking there?
She got that lean to her.
Yeah, she got that lean.
The lead
But-
was just to try to look a little bit like she's not supposed to be standing up, like she's kind of leaning over a little bit. I mean, she's a pony for crying out loud.
Alright.
Yeah.
It's that cool 1990s trying to be
Trying to be Michael Jackson.
yeah.
Or move the
With a
make the
low
moves like
camera
Jagger.
angle. That's why all the arms are or the limbs are foreshortened in different ways.
Yep.
I do love the how to be cool outfit.
Yeah.
I do fella
The-
falls.
If those of you who are wondering what this is, it's this.
I knew it.
Of course.
How to be cool by Pymations. Yeah.
I have no clue. I haven't kept up with Pymations in such a long time.
Yeah.
You should watch How to Be Cool.
I
It's so good.
watch it here and there, but I stumbled across this and I thought it was hilarious, especially since this is actually like a 43-year-old person that is trying
Yes.
to do this.
The party that clearly remembers the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like extremes. Well, it's not them that's literally doing this. It's somebody else that's telling them to do this. But yeah, it's just funny.
Oh, and you cut off the bottom of the shoes, so you
Yeah,
can't
how do we
even
know the
tell
shoes
if
are
the
untied
shoes
or
are
not?
untied like they're supposed to be.
I ran out of
It's probably-
space. Leave me alone.
They probably-
I'm
they're
surprised I
prob-
got
they
this
probably
far.
pop up your-
I'm surprised I got this far into it, and I was able to
Works.
convince myself. I basically had to convince myself not to go nuts on the left sleeve too.
They probably are untied.
Well, of course
Yes,
they're
hooves,
untied.
not
If
hands.
you actually look at the bottom, you can see the shoelaces are there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this one I put so much more effort than I would have expected into this, which, considering this one compared to this one, is such an interesting juxtaposition.
That's the position.
Yeah.
Now, I'm
And
gonna
then
be
there
honest.
is a thing that I did with a friend.
And yes,
for
it is a
an
digital
actual-
canvas, and I should be able to expand it as much as you like. The thing is, that is a artist trap. The moment you
Yep.
actually start doing that, you start to drive yourself crazy. Because you try to go into more perfection territory.
I
But
normally
the
don't
easier thing to
change
do is
the
to use
canvas.
lasso tool on all the things and drag it up just a few inches.
Okay, I just didn't want. I was working so hard on getting this to actually look this way. I didn't want to drive myself even crazier just to move it up and get the rest of the shoes.
Yeah.
And yes,
It
I
is
would have been
really
able
good.
to. The shoes would have been easy. The shoes would have been easy. I just decided to forgo it.
Ounce of self-control.
If I had an ounce of self-control, I wouldn't have done this. But this is
I'm
also
glad you-
this was also to push and challenge myself too. So, you know what? Fine, fair. You guys win. I cheaped out. I could have done better. I apologize. I guess
I demand the
I'm not
shoes
cool
class.
enough. I guess I'm not cool enough.
Well, second, it could just be like me, where the image I linked before I submitted my actual one was a thing from Draw Together, where I actually was the expert and I helped a friend actually get this together.
That's a scary thought, all things considered. Anyway,
No, it's
no, anyway, speaking of you drawing things, you also submitted this that you did for
National Art Day.
National Art Day, which
Yep.
I'm guessing that you're not the only one that submitted here, because if you could
No.
draw Amy like that, I honestly wonder what the hell you're doing.
The bottom, no, that's not me. I did all the
Yeah.
top.
I got so many questions so fast here, all of a sudden.
What, the fact I actually know how to do actual artwork?
But anyone want to take this, please? I don't want to. I don't want to be the bad guy here.
I can tell where the difference is. I
You
think
can tell where the line
you
is
you did
drawn.
everything above the line. I think you
Yep.
also did the mask that is touching the line.
Yep.
Your friend did all of the more thin line stuff below.
And we were also playing Hangman.
Okay.
And
Okay,
all those
just-
heads on the side were the ones that were hung, aren't they?
Yeah, not really. They were actually the artist friend doing that, but she was amazed that
But
Within-
you've got Charmy there. That's what Charmy's for, to be hung.
Oh,
Exactly.
ow! I mean,
He's
not
already got brain
ow.
damage. You can't do any worse to him.
yeah. But yeah, this was also a way of showing that I have the ability to make a lot of stuff, and it's not the greatest, but looking at the scenery that I can do if I actually take my time, I can do some very good scenery.
True. I'm not gonna. It's an amazing juxtaposition because you basically have like the random chaos of color at the top, and then at the bottom you have very meticulous line arting. It is
Well, isn't
such a
that-
juxtaposition. It is very interesting.
Yeah. Do you not remember the times when we after partied just a canvas?
Yeah.
Heck, I think we did it on the main show a few times, although the program that we used is now Manga Studios.
I think. I have to look into that then. But
this was still draw pile that all this happened on because
yeah.
my
Yeah,
friend was
draw
like,
pile is still existing. Yeah.
yeah,
But still, I mean, overall, it is really cool, and it is awesome that you contributed. And yeah, I could still tell what the hell it is, and that's 90% of art. Yeah, I can tell what it is. Well, actually, is that 90% of art? You know what? No,
Not really.
I'm taking that
No.
back. That is a bad term. That is bad. Nobody pays attention to that. Art should be how you express yourself, and all of this is expression. And that is exactly what counts.
Is good.
Yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and move on before I put my foot further into my mouth here.
Couldn't we pick a random topic?
All right.
After
We
the-
also looks like Kalsakai picked up a new camera, so he did a few fun pictures. Like I said, content creation does not have to be just art. It can be anything as long as it's an expression. And yeah, Lego figure model pressings is pretty cool. I mean, hell, I would like to do that. That's kind of fun, isn't it?
The good thing and bad thing is I can tell you almost where every pod came from the set. I'm that deep.
You're in deep, I'll tell you that much. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and move on here. Wait, no, I'm sorry, we did have one other thing. It was emailed to me, though. Give me a second. Let's see.
Dang.
To the email, but yeah. As always, it
Alright.
is never the fact that you are a poor artist,
Oh.
and sometimes you just
Oh.
don't do
Alright,
art
this
right
dear.
time.
Kalsakai, while I was getting the last few trophies, I discovered something cool about Astaroth, and since Commander something uses Astaroth's moveset, I decided to do this. So, Astaroth's full power.
Careful, it might have rules of nature in it. You know what? The fact that it is Commander doing it to me.
That is brutal. That is so stupidly brutal.
Banhammer. Strong.
No.
The bat.
This is something it has done to me before.
That is a
damn.
true use of a banhammer. Commander something may no longer be wielding the banhammer at the moment, but dang if he hasn't lost his touch. Oh, that is beautiful. That is such beauty right there. Thank you, Kalsakai.
Honestly, I would send that to him. Just be like, thinking of you.
All right, so with all of that out of the way, it's time to finally get to the fun part. Our picker wheel. The Wheel of Destiny. Or in this case, the Challenge of the Week wheel. And, of course, immediately people are jumping into the 90s. I wonder why that is. Kicking it old school 90. We got bad idea combinations. I do love a bad combination of ideas. We got coasters.
Speaking of which, since I put it there, I got my Ponies Online coaster.
Ballpoint
front,
pen.
front back.
And I'm going to guess Kalsakai was just saying rules of nature from the video and not because,
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw the rules of nature before he even started putting up the wheels, so I'd be surprised if he jumped in that early. He can read my mind.
Rules of nature.
He can rule my mind. Run.
Run away.
Run away, run away.
All right,
Doom.
Brian,
Oh,
Brian,
no. Doom.
64. Thank you. And also, how you been, man?
Ponyman 64. Actually, there's something ironic about Ponyman 64 bringing Doom up.
Ooh, being evil. That is actually a fun one, Chaos.
No,
Doom
not just
64.
being evil. Being
Oh,
evil.
yeah, they actually made
Evil.
I'm evil.
Sorry, what
I
was
can't.
that?
I can't do Doofenshmirtz right now. I cannot.
Don't. Second, we love you. Don't.
No, I mean I literally couldn't even try. It would
No,
be.
you
it
know
was-
what I mean, though. We know your
my
voice is not up
evil
to this
nature.
now.
My evil nature. Don't make me. Stop making me trying to. I'm gonna bring-
Second,
Oh,
you
oh, that
first
is.
evil
Oh, I actually really no. We
incorporated.
got a last second interruption, and I just barely saw this. Gold dust. Ooh,
Oh,
look
I
at
saw
that.
him do this.
You colored and inked this.
I did.
It is so beautiful. I love this.
Thank you.
Oh, and he was having minor troubles with some of the colors here because he was like, that wood doesn't look right.
Nah, I feel that sometimes, but I think the one thing that drives me nuts is his colors feel like they flow so well in the artwork, and mine never quite feel like that. It's like they don't actually connect to the art. I don't know how to explain it.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. As far as the colors I used, I mostly color pulled from a reference of this character. So,
Well, I mean, I think it's more like how the color is applied. I think you're doing something that I'm not.
Very cute.
Is it light on and then fill underneath?
No, usually it's take a paint bucket and plump.
actually, I do not use paint bucket.
That
Not
is-
usually.
That is probably
really?
it. You probably.
I should.
Yeah. No, don't. I mean, yours looks so much better.
No, because like there are plenty of artists that use paint bucket. They're just better at it than I am. I don't know how to make it do what I want it to do.
Well, I can
Yeah.
get
So
it.
I just paint it. I just like color it
Yeah,
in manually, which is much slower and less efficient. But it's
Yeah, because you
relaxing,
need to
so.
be able to tell the paint bucket for how many levels of going to the lines it needs to do.
Yeah, I'm bad at that, so I
Plus, I think
yeah.
the other thing here is the way you have your lining here. It doesn't gradient out into lighter colors like mine does. It looks like it's more solid and uniform. Or no, wait, I might stand corrected on that.
so as far as that goes, that's just
Sorry,
because
I don't mean to be psychoanalyzing. I'm just really trying hard to learn, and it's just.
You're good. My method to inking is one that I learned from watching Egophiliac long ago, and that is I usually, for most of the outlines, I carry the line beyond the point, and then I erase to give it a good sharp point, which gives it a bit of a almost vector feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Without being vector.
Yeah.
That was a blast from the past right there when he said that name. Wow.
I'm not gonna lie, most of my style is influenced by like Egophiliac and a few other artists that I know. Particularly in the way that I do line work, because when I was going to digital artwork, I kind of learned how to do what I wanted to do in Photoshop by watching Egophiliac streams. Oh, hey, there's a mistake.
Sorry.
There it is.
Well, if it makes you feel better, there's another
couple
mistake right
where it's
there.
like-
Yep.
It's okay because you literally cannot tell from a distance. I'm zooming in. Just
No,
to
the thing you can tell from a distance is irritating my brain. Where's the bowstring?
Me too. I was waiting for people to stop talking. So I was like, Cole, where's the
Oh,
string?
yeah. I never added that. Yeah. So,
She's
okay.
playing the song of silence.
So here's the thing.
That was
This
bothering
was-
me for so long.
Here's the thing. I never finished this, and I was going to add that in later as its own just straight layer that I was going to just layer over the top, and I just kind of never got around to it. So
No, wait,
I-
make a story out of it. Coldust, make a
my
story out of it.
my plan was to shade it, and I might still do that. I'm planning on still shading this eventually. I just never got around to it. So
Coldust, you should
Yeah.
totally make a story out of this. Just have her next one. Have her at a shop window, just face planted on it, while it just has a new bowstring there for sale for 10 bits. She's just kind of staring at it like a kid would at a train on a toy store on Christmas. Just
Sure,
yeah,
yes.
just, one day I will have that bowstring.
Follow the picture, just
Yeah, also-
looking longingly through a window.
Also, this wouldn't be a song of silence. It'd be the song would just be going.
Yeah, I know. Just if you were playing without it, actually pressing against the strings, it would be nothing. Yeah.
it wouldn't make much sound at all because the bow itself is pretty smooth. You can kind of scratch it against it, but it won't really make much audible sound.
So do we
Not really.
All right, did we
I
get
will
all
say
of our, did we get all of our entries? Sorry, real fast.
All right. I've had this sitting here for a while, because of course I had to do this.
Oh!
You violated the law, criminal scum.
Oh, I wanted to play that so badly, but I think I need
Oh,
to upgrade
you
my
violated
system
the law.
first. Anyway, anybody else have anything quickly to add before we go ahead and random and pull the wheel here?
I will
gotten
say,
everything
Chaos
in.
Sky, nice reference to Metal Gear.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and do this in shuffle and spin.
Bad idea combination.
Bad idea combinations.
What we do every week.
No.
I mean, it's not wrong.
So, we can get the roach cone. Sorry.
You really are going there, aren't you?
Anyway, protest challenge.
Right. The protest initiative challenge is. I meant to think of one, and then I forgot to. What? I had an idea.
That better not be the challenge. I'm gonna be so annoyed.
I mean, we already have idea.
No.
We could have kicked it old school.
Well, that's funny as all hell.
Toothbrush.
Toothbrush.
Brushy.
Okay.
Totally not because
Yeah.
I went to the dentist today.
Toothbrush and mayonnaise. You got this.
Oh no!
Oh, that is such a bad combination idea.
That sounds just vile, doesn't it?
Oh no,
It
worse.
really does.
New from your favorite pony dentist, orange flavored toothpaste.
Actually, that'd be good.
1 out of
Yeah,
10
I
doctors
what's wrong
approve
with
of
that.
this.
No, orange juice toothpaste.
I see nothing
No,
wrong
no, no.
with this.
Get your vitamin C
Orange
and your
drop
teeth clean.
toothpaste.
Huh? Minty orange juice.
What?
Mint orange juice. Minty orange juice. Actually, wouldn't
Ah.
I don't know how that would go.
Honestly, if you're doing that, the orange frog is still probably a funnier thing to do for that bad combination idea.
All right. Well, it's time to go into this. It's time to finally wrap up the Babscon experience with one last what happened at Babs.
Oh, good. The marshmallows are there, so we don't have to bring our own.
Yep. And it's completely roasted. Sad.
To quote a friend of mine, they knew Bowser was going to be a show, but they didn't know it was going to be that type of show.
So, with Babscon, we did talk a little bit throughout the show episodes beforehand, but this was the last Babscon. I'm going to go ahead and spill what I do know for the most part. I do believe some of the things I have been made aware of are kind of a little bit sworn to secrecy kind of situation, and so I'm just not going to talk about it because I don't think I can.
Circuit.
Yeah.
Circuit.
Yes.
Actually related to this.
Go ahead.
Okay. Or may not to Babscon itself, but to Nahum. If anyone here watched the concert and saw the set of Ponyphonic, and saw that there was a person playing violin on the stage, that's the one that I drew. Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh.
nice.
Oh, you
Yes.
know what? That's how you.
Azura Comet. So it is actually applicable. Azura Comet. You should check out Azura Comet, by the way. Not only does she make not only does she play the violin, she also makes some like really awesome music, and I've listened to her Spotify a lot. It's really good. You should check it out.
All right. So with Babscon, this was the final one. Apparently, this was just to immediately get on top of a question here. This was not done for bad financial reasons. I'm going to immediately put that off the bat here. What apparently occurred was they actually became profitable enough that they could actually pay back the original con organizer and starter of Babscon. So they figured, let's go ahead, give them back the money they donated to allow Babscon to exist, and we'll call this the last one and just wrap it all up. So this was the reason that Babscon decided to shut down was mostly just due to saying, you know what, we did a good run. We actually managed to come to even in the end. So let's go off with a big bang and see it off as well as you can. So that is why Babscon was ending. Of course, the funny thing is that with the ending, apparently there was a lot going on behind the scenes beforehand. In fact, a lot of people had a bad reputation with Babscon because, admittedly, the hierarchy is probably the best way to put it. The chain of command, things like that, were not done well. It was basically there was a lot of intermixing and a lot of multiple people doing multiple things with multiple jobs and stuff like that, and caused a lot of communication issues, a lot of burned bridges, bad blood, faults. There was a lot of controversy and issues with the management of Babscon, and Babscon knew this. So the funny thing is that prior to this last year, they actually did set up a reorganization of the entire structure to compartmentalize things so that you would have better communication, things would be able to get addressed better. Essentially, they were trying to address the problems of Babscon, which admittedly would have been great if they had more time to actually implement it and maybe advertise it. Unfortunately, it was kind of a combination of not enough effort and a little too late, because there was still some issues with the musicians' support of things, including with Pinky Boo. Unfortunately, it ended up to the point where it was straws. It wasn't one major thing. It was many little things, and it became a broken back situation, which is why it wasn't one of those that could gloss over for a few weeks. It literally was just the end of a lot of ropes.
Yeah.
Which ultimately led to why the musicians left en masse and created mayhem. Which, funny enough, I think that might have been one of the more amazing things that could have happened with Babscon, because we had an amazing Sunday concert. And we also apparently succeeded in having a Mystery Skulls concert too.
Yeah, I remember back before the pandemic, they had probably a contract. But I'm not part of that team, so I don't know.
I don't know about a contract, but there's definitely an interest in the Mystery Skulls performing. But I don't think that they had a good mix of time and opportunity until this actually happened.
Yeah,
but it wasn't like they were planning on doing the Mystery Skulls. This was literally like, oh no, this happened, and there's no way we can fix this. But we apparently still have this thing with Mystery Skulls, so we're gonna do it with it. We're gonna, they're going to help us out with this at least. So, it wasn't like we're gonna fire all the musicians so we can do Mystery Skulls. It was the musicians left. We're gonna do but we still can do Mystery Skulls by some luck. So we're gonna do that. There was a lot of luck.
Yeah, this from a con perspective, this was almost shooting yourself in the foot in multiple ways. Not either side, just
this
was a situation.
It was a lot of shot in the foot. It's a lot of multiple situations, but the fact is, despite all of that, the Babscon wrap up, this final Babscon, was amazing.
I will not deny that.
It went off without. Well, the actual con itself went off without too much of a hitch. There was a delay in opening ceremonies, a pretty big delay, but a lot of panels happened. The vendor halls were well maintained and staffed. There was some vandalism because people suck, but it wasn't extremely bad. People still took care, minded. And everybody had a great time, and the turnout was over 2,000 people.
Wow.
That is still pretty damn good, all things considered.
The last time they got 2,000 people, I think it was when in the first time early parts of the Brony fandom, when BronyCon was still a thing. So this was it was a major turnout to wrap it all up, which is really, really great. Which also sucks too because I missed out on a lot of things. But we'll get into that. So, this Babscon, why was it special for me? Well, me and the roommate Haru, some of you will know Haru from previous times over at the Brony show, and also Comet Starshot, who was also formerly a guest and a panelist with us. We decided to drive. So Comet Starshot flew into Utah. We got shuffled into a car at 6 in the morning and drove our way down to California. Which, I'm not gonna lie, it was good. I did have fun. I basically played Balatro for like 90% of it, I'm not gonna lie. Well, more like 70%. I did also have to drive the car a little bit, and it was a car I'm not familiar with, and it was right when we were entering California. And it was on a bunch of freeways that were under construction through mountain passes, and I have agoraphobia as well. So, yeah, no, that was not a fun combination, I'll tell you that. But
wait, what is agoraphobia? Is that fear of
heights.
construction?
Fear of heights.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Normally, I'm okay with heights to an extent as long as I have some semblance of self-control and being able to move. But when you're in a car that's going like 50 or 60 on a freeway and you're not familiar with that car, it will exacerbate you to hell. It is not fun. It is so much
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. All right, really fast here while I just realized I probably should get a lot more pictures posted if I can here. So while I'm getting pictures posted up, yeah, it was a great con experience. It was a lot of fun. I had an absolute blast. I think.
How did the mead go?
That's a part and parcel why I'm trying to get these pictures up here.
It's one of those things of it's nice to hear stories like this because it is a thing of celebration when a convention goes out on its own terms and not just,
because nobody else comes to it. Yeah, no, when a convention can go out on its own way and do well, that's awesome. We even went to Reno, which was kind of fun.
Yo, wait, you basically followed the Amtrak route.
We kind of did, probably.
Because, like, Amtrak also goes to Reno, the California Zephyr. That's the general direction that me and Feather went. Basically immediately after meeting up with you.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, yeah, you went to San Francisco, and that was the direction we were going. Huh. It's funny.
So, with the mead here. So, this mead, I had two special projects that I decided to do for Babscon. The first one, this was going to be, since it was the last Babscon, it was also going to be the last Buried 2 Babscon party. Which sucks. But, I wanted to, I've had a lot of fun with the Buried Tubers. I wanted to send them off awesomely. So, I worked on this. This is a berry flavored mead. This was made with a triple frozen berry mix of cherry, blueberry, and blackberry. This was after experimenting a few times with some 2-gallon jugs on different compositions of fruits, honey, using teas. Essentially, I did a lot of different practices along with experience I already did have. And then I bought 2-gallon buckets and just went right for it because I literally I was down to the wire. These bottles were the first batch. These were the second batch. I made 2 different batches. This was bottled the day before we started driving to Babscon. I literally, I did this down to the wire. So yeah, I made 24 bottles of a special berry tuber mead for the berry tubers. Not only that, I also went and did a special commission with Poxy Boxy. Now, this is the one thing I kept under my hat for the longest time here. Because I wanted this to be a secret to everybody. And even Poxy Boxy was nice enough to not post the images of this until after Babscon. And I gave him the go-ahead. So I made a bottle sticker out of this image that I specially commissioned Poxy Boxy for. I'm the reason this thing exists.
So, second, was this also the one that tried to scam you? Not actually Poxy, but the one trying to use their name?
This was one where another person pretended to be Poxy Boxy and tried to scam me. And luckily they failed. But, yeah, the real Poxy Boxy, I really got in contact with him later after we got that figured out. And I admit I had to not fight with Poxy Boxy, but we definitely had some communication issues for a little while because, you know, they're a very busy artist, and they're trying to get ready to also do a Kickstarter of a new set of playing cards, which looks really awesome.
Also, English is their second language, and
Yeah,
they're down in Mexico.
Yeah, they're a well-known artist, a lot of commissions. There was a lot stacked against them, so you know I forgive all of the issues because in the end the art looks great, and they helped me out a lot to get it done, and even hold off on showing off the art that they made until after I got it made. But yeah, I had 100 stickers made. I still have a few of them, funny enough. But I put them all in the bottles, and that was part one of my project. Now, that was the Berry Tuber project. That was a little bit funnier. This was not the thing that wiped me out. I did another project, and I showed some of you some pictures. But
Oh, I know of it.
now, the project was the Sweetie Belle flag.
Don't you mean the Stary Bell flag?
I started calling her the Sweetie Belle flag because constantly yelling Stary Belle and people not quite knowing what I'm talking about at sometimes.
No,
So the staring Sweetie Belle image that there's shirts of it now. It was on a couple of smaller flags made by Choco Pony, and images are usually posted all around the different pony conventions, but it's prolific. It's out there. So I took that image and I put it onto a giant flag, as some of you remember seeing, and this sucker was big enough to cover my bed. This was a 6-foot by 10-foot flag. A very, very big flag. This was one I made a lot of early prep for. I had a lot of plans for. I bought fabric markers for. I tried to order fabric markers for. They screwed up and sent my fabric markers to Seattle. I had to get on others through Amazon, which luckily showed up the day prior to going. And luckily, they were multitude in color and very good. So it ended up being annoying, but not a plan killer. This flag...
I just got back with a bottle of water.
This flag, I commandeered 2 tables at Babscon that weren't being used, and I set it up there. And for 4 hours...
Oh, you're talking about the mead.
No, I'm talking about the flag. The mead is over.
Oh, the flag.
The flag. That flag, I stood out there in the lobby for 4 hours. I skipped opening ceremonies. I skipped the opening of the vendor hall and the con store. I skipped a few panels I kind of wanted to go to because I wanted this flag to succeed, and I wanted to do amazing things with it.
All the places you'll go.
And I did
all those signatures.
I can't say I did. Everybody did. Amazing things happened with this flag. This was signed, arted, doodled, contributed by so many people. Everybody from the loneliest con-goer to even special guests and community guests. And I believe it even was signed at some point, because when I donated it, I did say that if possible, the community, I would love the guests to be able to sign it if they can. So hopefully they did. Sorry, my throat's a little on the sore side. I'll get to that too. But yeah, I got all of these signatures. I spent 4 hours on Friday. And 4 hours on Saturday. I went down in the morning after breakfast, set up the flag, and just started shouting, "Sign the Sweetie Belle flag. This flag is looking for everybody's signature. This flag will be donated to the charity auction on Sunday. We are looking to fill it up." I goofed a little bit. Because I thought I got a thick enough flag that both signs could be signed and doodled on. It did not work out that well. Unfortunately, some of the markers, especially for the really heavy drawings here, started to bleed through a little bit. So I had to put a kibosh on that plan, which is a bummer. But we still got a lot of signatures and a lot happened here. And it did go up into the charity auction. Completely flabbergasting Dusty Cat and a few other people too, I might add. It was kind of amazing. No, actually,
just because it's a Stereo Bell?
Well, actually, I can't say flabbergasted him too much because he signed it. You can even see a signature right there at the bottom. But it went up in auction. This flag costed $50 to make. The markers cost about $40 to $50 altogether, excluding the one I had to get refunded. I had to spend 8 hours yelling for signatures, missing out on a lot of events and things that I wanted to enjoy for the last day of the convention. I got sick with con crud. I actually had a really bad sore throat about Saturday morning. I don't think that was con crud related. I think that might have been the shouting. But was probably con crud related is Sunday, about Sunday afternoon-ish. I had a headache and the sore throat. The harsh throat got worse. So unfortunately, I couldn't go to Mayhem either. Which also didn't help that we were planning on driving out earlier on Monday, but I'll get to that. But this went up on auction. And it was auctioned off for $700.
Well worth the effort.
100% worth the effort. I would plan it better next time, including getting more help, so I wasn't doing that all by myself for several hours. But I would have done it again without hesitation. And that is a flag. It's a Sweetie Belle flag. It is a very big flag. This was my magnum opus to Babscon. My crazy contribution. And I am beyond glad and beyond proud of how well it turned out and how many people were so happy and so excited to see how it went. And how much it earned an auction too. All of that was just the cherry right there. And that's kind of why I can forgive missing out on so much because even after all of that, I missed out on a lot, but I was able to contribute so much. And people are going to be reminded of Babscon forever because of this flag. And of course, funny enough, a friend of mine did also post in another Discord the flag with one of the charity buyers with their group. So yeah, so the people that bought the flag are obviously going to cherish it too. So that makes me really happy.
So, second, how does it feel to, once again, there would be a player in the background that many will not give you credit, but will know of your efforts?
Honestly, I think this actually got me more attention than I thought, and I probably spread my name a little bit more than people expected. However, it doesn't matter to me either way. Whether I am horse famous or not, it's no longer a big deal to me. All that matters is that I continue to make a good mark for the world. And that's a hell of a mark, isn't it? So, Babscon itself here. Babscon was definitely a lot of fun.
Indeed.
I did enjoy some of the panels that I was able to go to, which is great. I'm so bummed. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't enjoy the Klingons were back for the party rooms, which was beautiful.
Yes.
Yes, the Klingons were back. I did not have revenge. I'm not gonna lie. I did not have revenge, but I was up late enough on Friday that I got to try the green stuff, which they only served at midnight, and I did get to drink Dead Pony, which was actually pretty good. And I goofed myself up too, because the BerryTube room, I was also part of the party room favors, doing things for the party room. I was only trying to sign myself up for one day, and I was just going to be room guard for Friday. I unfortunately signed myself up by accident as bartender on Saturday, when I was already dirt tired after all of the shenanigans with the flag. So I'm basically having to select drinks while I am half functioning, and I missed out on, unfortunately because of that, I was so tired, I missed out also on the Mystery Skulls concert for the most part. I did get to hear some of it, but I was so tired, I was falling asleep in panel rooms. It was bad. It was so bad.
Always read the fine print.
It wasn't the fine print, it's just the Google Doc didn't save my update on removing my name off of one of the things when I was messing around.
Oh, I was making a joke first and foremost, but yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. But I gripe a little bit, but the times I did have with, I think I had more fun in a weird way, because yeah, I could have gone to the vendor hall, I could have gone to all the panels, but I had pancakes with the BerryTubers. I spent hours getting a flag signed. I fell asleep in a panel room. I basically struggled the crap out of myself to get to the party rooms and enjoy what I could do. Getting a last hurrah with the Klingons, getting a bunch of mead made. I made different memories this time. Though I'm not gonna lie, I am never ever going to drive to another con like that again. I am not. Unfortunately, the Sunday evening, I did not get to spend the time doing the down party or enjoying the Mayhem on stream, because the whole plan was we were going to drive off at about 6 o'clock in the morning. Granted, I think it was 6 o'clock Mountain Time, because we ended up waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Mayhem ended at 2 in the morning. And also, everybody wanted to get the car packed ahead of time, so all we needed to do was just get ourselves dressed and go. So yeah, I did get to hang out with the BerryTubers for the Sunday closeouts, but I missed out on stuff like that too. So never again. No. I am never doing that crap again, because I missed out on so much at the same time as I experienced so much. It was a lot of lessons learned on this con, which I can apply to future cons. So yeah, I don't have much to say in the way of the panels. The panels got interesting though. Let's just face it. One of the panels was straight up clop. That kind of tells you how many. It kind of tells you how many shits they had to give anymore at this point. That granted, it really was a case of it's the last Babscon. What are they gonna do? But people were so respectful about things to some extent. I say to some extent because unfortunately some people were really stupid about things. One of the things being stickers were allowed this year. I think they just decided to finally stop that policy. It was a hotel policy. But of course I did notice a few times that stickers were stuck on things that they shouldn't have been. So yeah, great. Thanks guys. We finally get that back, just for you to probably immediately get it imposed again. But yeah, this was something really cool that I literally stumbled across by accident, and I'm gonna have to see if I can find the mod for this. But yeah, a Pony Kart 64.
That'd be awesome.
Yep. I'm gonna let this play out for a quick moment, because I also realized I doubt let's see. I just need the Google Drive. What are you doing here? So I also did take I took a video of all of the plushies that happened this year in the big plushie panel. The problem is that it's a very big video. So I'm trying to see if I can find where if I can pull that off of my Google Drive here. Okay. All right, but yeah, we're gonna close that out for a quick moment here. Set that up for a quick moment. Okay. All right, Google, you're telling me I have 99%. I would be more than happy to do something about that. Show me how to get to my photos. Show me how to get
There
to my...
should be a thing that you can sort.
No, it's the thing is, it's not telling me how, and that's the thing that's driving me the most berserk. It's like I just need, I need to see the videos here. I need to see. You say I don't have space, and you're not telling me where I can get to my stuff. It's, I don't know. That's, I think that's the one thing that irritates
Okay,
me.
if you're in Drive's opening thing, photos and images.
Do something useful.
Type of
Why
file.
would it ever do that?
Okay. Hold on. Let me try this. Google.
As I click that,
Okay, wait. Okay, I'm on the drive. What do you want me to do?
okay. At Google
Oops.
Drive,
Hold on.
underneath the search bar, there's type. Click on it.
All right.
Go down under forums, should be photos and images.
Yeah.
Click on that,
Yeah.
and it should bring up everything. If it's last modified, that should give you
Yeah,
everything
it's
that
like
was...
it's not giving me what I'm looking for because all of these are 2020.
Really?
Really.
Okay,
Okay.
so hit last modified, have the arrow going down.
Hold on, it's okay. I think I think I need to find, how do I get into Google Photos? Oh wait, here we go. I think I have something. Give me a second. This might work. All right, I think I finally have this. And actually, while I have this, okay. All right, gonna download all of that and move it into the trash here in a moment so I can free up some Google Drive space because you guys suck like all out. But okay. Here we go. This is, I believe this is the plushie pile for this last year. Yep, I remember that bathrobe. This plushie pile got weird. Because the problem is that they did not have this organized very well, and people just started crowding in and piling.
Oh, that's a lot of mess.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Lion King.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one person that had like a Lion King getup, and I'm pretty sure that they're just dropping a bunch of Disney plushies. It's pretty wild. This wasn't irritating.
They had a full Lion King set. They had the Build-A-Bear Simba.
This is irritating because I had a good spot for the Alpha Twiggy there, but unfortunately they literally started pushing her aside for a giant Twilight Sparkle. It's like, what the hell?
Well, I also see some HarmonyCon plushes there.
Oh yeah. The question is what is there? The question is what isn't there? Because they have everything there.
One of those rarities back there had a paperclip on her horn.
Yes, because that's a way of identifying.
Yeah. I say that's smart.
But for those that don't
when you
know,
go to these things, you need to be able to find your plush against everyone else's plush, which is why...
Oh, that's a huge marble pie.
Which is why there's generally always a handy bracelets thing happening, such that you can just make a quick little bracelet with a pile of dumb beads that you will recognize.
At least if your plushie isn't already unique as hell to begin with.
yes, but, you know...
Yeah, no, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
Because CMC, have we
Izzy
still...
had a friend!
You know what?
Yep.
Chaos Akai, I'm not denying that I'm not with you on that one. I'd be scared too. The thing is that there's also so many people looking at all of these plushies that if somebody tries to take one, it's gonna get noticed real quickly. Plus, I'm pretty sure a lot of people hung around by their plushies. And I wasn't even the one. I wasn't even the gold standard plushie that people would have gone after. Oh no, no, no! We'll get to that in a little bit here.
Yeah, it's one of those things of.
But yeah, no, people suck still. People suck, and if you have a really expensive plush, make sure you have it marked correctly, and in worst case scenario, air tag it.
Yeah, all these big ones basically should have an air tag just because.
Because
you got anything expensive, yeah. And if you have an old Build-A-Bear that is no longer in production now,
which is all of them. Seriously though, it's not the big ones you got to worry about. It's the middle and small ones. Those are easy to just like palm and just walk away with. The giant ones are way too cumbersome. You can't walk away with those.
Yeah, the kind that could easily disappear under a jacket or into a backpack.
Yeah, we're still kind of mad at some people from that went to Harmony like a year or two ago that stole from front of house.
3, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's kind of a lessons learned situation for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this was such an amazing turnout for plushies.
Oh, I love that. Is that the braided Viking shy?
Yes. Okay, somebody acknowledged it. I'm going to pause this real fast. That is the Viking shy. That is the one that sold for $10,000 at the it's not Galacon, but it was it was a one in Germany.
It's either Gala, Pony.
It was something that was recently in Pony News. I know that because I looked at this hair and was like, "Whoa, that is."
Yeah,
that is custom Fluttershy hair.
That was Viking Fluttershy, the Fluttershy, the crazy Fluttershy that went for a high auction price, and it's basically like seeing something that you thought you would never see in a plushie pile right there. The Viking.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I thought, wait, is this a Fusroye Fluttershy kind of thing?
Yep. Yeah, this is such a wild plushie to find, especially here and how much it sold for. So yeah, I was able to actually see it. That is something I will never forget.
That's a big cozy glow.
Yeah.
And yeah, just the small glimpses of the folks around and the team that is actually there running the panel. Yeah. There are folks keeping an eye on everyone's plushies, making sure no one's running off with a plush they don't own.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a train.
Oh yeah, hold on. No, is Coldust still here?
Wait.
I am.
Coldust, take a look at that.
That's
plushie.
a big train.
Wait a minute. Oh, that's the new Amtrak plush.
Yeah, they had an Amtrak plush here too.
You see, I have the older one that is based off the P-42. This one's based off of one of the Chargers.
See, this is how you know the guy knows his stuff. I have no clue what he's talking about, but I know he knows it.
It's the newer one, based off of the newer train. Honestly, I wouldn't mind getting one, just so that way my Amtrak P-42 has a friend.
Oh, there's Rare Cow.
Yeah,
although,
they have the cow already.
Although, if I'm honest, I think my little Amtrak engine is doing just fine with the Blahai and Derpy.
Alright, just a heads up here. The video is probably going to get a little skippy here soon because the line was supposed to go a direction, and then admittedly, when we got to these roundtables, it just went all to hell. So it ended up becoming a case of where did I not go, and then trying to figure out how to get to it. Because it was also crowded beyond belief.
Oh, that is a nice crochet.
Oh, crochet bell.
Wait, what's...
Someone signed their name
Oh, that's
on
an Ashley Ball signature.
Oh, really?
The Silver Street one's very nice.
But yeah, just everybody knows Winchester was here. Double R Forest was here. It was really awesome seeing those two.
What is
Oh,
this
there's a
outfit that
conductor,
Scootaloo has on?
I think that's an usher or...
No, that looks like a Girl Scout uniform.
No, behind.
Oh, alright, hold on, let me bring it back.
Yeah, you half miss it when crossing that person. Yeah, there.
Looks like a bellhop uniform.
Could be.
Bellhop Skidaloo. That's
And then, yeah, that's definitely Brownies. That other one there. Because that is not,
By the way, the Cadence and Twilight Sparkle fursuiters, apparently for during the Mystery Skulls concert block, they got married. I don't know if it was a legitimate. I don't know if it was a legitimate marriage or just for fun, but apparently.
Just for fun.
I mean, I don't know how legitimate it really was because they were in their fursuits the entire time, from what I understand.
How's that not a... Never mind. I know what you're talking about. Right, yeah. I did that last year.
Yeah, you can hear me talking.
I understand, yeah, no, they're not in, the Cadence suitor is not in a relationship, so that all for play, I think.
Yeah. I figured it was probably all for play, but it's still kind of a fun thing to see, you know?
Oh, Bluey. You actually turn back up and look at the goose.
Of course, I made sure to go up and down and get every plushie I could see.
Donkey on the butt.
I even got a lot of back shots because there were plushies that were multiple directions.
Yeah.
There.
All right, that was actually the end of the plushie line up there. So, yep, there was a plushies there, and also there was one really other cool thing that I got to see that somebody actually had with their car. Let me see what. I think it was this one. I just downloaded.
Why? Come on, there's no way you.
I saw that in one of the channels.
Yeah, I think this was the Berry Tuber card too, because a person that asked me about it was I do see him in Berry Tube a lot.
You can't say boo to it, but we'll boo you. We'll boo to you.
Yeah, I comment and Haru were giving me crap because I absolutely had to record this. This is such cool. I mean, who wouldn't like to? I mean, if you're a car person, this is probably nightmare fuel. But if you weren't, this is like really awesome. Who else would think that, right? Because I think it's really awesome.
Because she just realized she needed
Medicare for all.
Why? Come on, there's no way you wouldn't say.
Anyway, yeah. So, along with that, just to throw the last of the stuff out here, I did manage to still get to the vendor hall and pick out some things. Granted, by the time I got there, some of the cool stuff was gone. I say some of it because I still got some pretty cool things. So, let's go ahead and go over the pile of merchandise. Of course, I got a surprising amount of ribbons this time around. I got one of the pins that apparently IDW made for a promotion that I didn't see distributed all that often, so that was really strange to find.
Oh, right next to it is the Dusty Cat pin.
Yeah, Dusty Cat was actually putting a lot of buttons out, and I managed to find one with a G3 of him, so I couldn't say no.
The fact that you have I am a ribbon collector.
Somebody saw I had a bunch of ribbons there and literally wrote ribbon collector and put it on there.
Press F to pay respects. Yes.
Yep. Hell hydrate.
Yeah.
Pony's at 3 a.m.
Pony's at 3 a.m. So many people asked about that one.
The fact that you have Pony Professional.
I am a Pony Professional.
You are. You have been against that most.
Question is, were you tripping over your
No, but I got close. But I also have gone to cons where ribbons, they had a lot of ribbons to the point where people actually had devised ways of dealing with it. I rolled it up and used painter's tape to keep it together until I didn't need it anymore.
I remember, I think it was a cider fest where Dashu ended up with enough that they could make like a badge sash, like a Boy Scouts badge sash with it.
Yeah, you can, yeah, I've seen some wild stuff with that. Yeah.
I think Dashu ended up with one of every possible one at the event.
I know some people were trying, which really made them upset when they found out the ponies at 3 a.m. was only for the midnight panel on Friday. Which I'm so glad oh yes, I did get to go to that. I was so happy. Ponies at 3 a.m. That was so beautiful. It was Scooter Tricks. He basically did like a whole Adult Swim thing with all of the G1 joke videos that they did, but it also had little go-ins, go outs with other video creators. I think he's going to be doing something in like in a Patreon or something to show it off. It's yeah, the bumpers. They were really awesome bumpers. But it was just so awesome seeing all of that together, including the French.
The French?
Alright.
You know what would have been funnier? If somehow Mike and Eyes is still awake and popped in when we said the French.
Yeah. Now, here's a fun thing. These books. These were on the giveaway table.
What?
What?
Somebody dropped these 2 books on the giveaway table right when I was there. I was so lucky I snagged them up after they left. I waited until they left. But the here's the dumb thing. The Words of Power here.
Mm-hmm.
I already have a copy of it, and I didn't realize it. I have 2 copies of Words of Power. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one.
Charity?
Take it to a trader panel.
Ooh, that might actually be a... Yeah, I should see if
take it as a trader or take it to charity.
Yeah, see if Everfree is doing a trader panel. That would be such a...
I wouldn't be against that idea, because if they are, CMC has stuff he wants to trade.
Yep. Yeah, that's one Photoshop.
If Everfree's doing a traders, with the fact that there's kids there, I should also bring some of the things that I might just be willing to just give away free to the kids, because I've probably got some silly things.
But all right, here's some other fun ones. Also the piggy bank here, that was also on the giveaway table with a bunch of other things. I believe I limited myself a little bit because they had like 3 or 4 totes of random ponies stuff, and I just grabbed the bank and one other thing here. Which one of the vendor booths that I thought was really cool. They had a bunch of pony stuff from the Chinese pony conventions.
Nice.
So this Twilight Sparkle here is actually from one of the Chinese conventions, which is really cool.
Nice.
So happy to have gotten a hold of that. The shirt here was also, it was on the giveaway table, and it was actually Babscon giving them away because they're all extra smalls. I literally put this on Alpha Twiggy after I got it. I just kind of put her in it and then tied it to her. And here's the fun thing. For giggles, I literally tried putting it on yesterday after washing it. It doesn't. I got in it.
Yeah, I don't even think it would. You could even put it on Monster Toy. It's something where, if you're going to use it for anything, it's going to be to cut it out and put it on like a quilt or something, or have to.
You could
do
maybe
some fun
quilt it or pillow it or do something. I think I could do something with it though. But yeah, I thought it was really cool, and might as well try to make use of it.
How about commission a plush specifically to fit inside it?
Ooh, that is a thought. Anyway, here's also some other things, and this is going to get some people's motors running. Oh yeah, here's a pile of stickers I still had left over.
That Aurora.
They had an Aurora print. That was so awesome. I immediately bought that when I saw it. So I'm so happy that somebody actually was making some Aurora prints. But we also had the Shipvic folder. They had a lot of different cards coming in, including G5 cards and, of course, Finale and Babscon cards.
Oh.
And you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'll indulge this. Now, what is the one thing you never thought you would expect to see at a convention?
I don't know. I've been to multiple conventions and I've seen weddings at them.
All right. Well, somebody apparently commissioned this, and funny enough, they had some that were left on a table on Sunday afternoon, and I snagged one.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Who
No,
saw that
no.
one coming? I know I didn't.
Oh my!
And yes, it is exactly what you think it is. No, I did not open it. No, I will not open it. I do not want to open that. I don't want to open that. Because
Second, why did you have that next to the thing that said Sinbad?
I know what I
Why do you have it next to a bottle?
We can,
Is that?
I just
Yeah,
put
It's
it,
the questions
Yeah,
of
that
is that
fair.
lube?
No,
no, that's spices.
That's
That's
spice.
spices.
that was called Sinbad, and I'm like,
No, it's sunburn, and it actually kind of tastes like it kind of tastes like chicken powder off of ramen packets, but not as salty. It's really nice.
okay, but with how the highlight is, it looked like sin rather than
Yeah, I also got the
The
sauce.
sauce that makes you.
Yeah, this was the this was one of the berry tuber drinks, and they were giving these signs away because I think this was a one-time deal for this particular con.
yeah, because
Rum,
that's very
sweet and
much
sour sauce.
And this was also one of the other things that I picked out of the giveaway totes.
Nice.
Just because, yeah, this is not something you would find normally, and I know that, so I had to.
Oh,
grab
this
it.
would have been like at Joanne's or Michael's.
What now? There is no Joanne's, only Zool. Okay, that sadness aside, we all know.
Yeah. They're actually some of the locations here have actually fully shut down. There's still one that's got some stuff.
Some haven't quite shut down here yet, and I managed to actually get some frames for the ND Price pictures, which is really awesome. But yeah, here's a few more pictures of images, shirt. They also did have a
So
few.
you got a
of
stamp card.
Yeah, they had like 2 or 3 different ones running. I only did one of them though, because I didn't know about the other one until later, and I was just plain exhausted and poor by that point.
It's so hard to know what stamp cards are running and what ones are purchases or what ones are just come, interact, say hi, and do a silly little dance.
Yeah.
Or
And it's even
tell a
worse
dad
when
joke.
so many people are doing it that they end up running out of stuff before you get there. So it's just like, yeah, you got the stamp card, but you kind of missed the fun part. Which, I mean, it's still fun to get the stamps, but especially if you got the purchase one. Oof. Anyway, speaking of which, here's also a bunch of random stuff. Stickers, stickers, business cards. The drink, I think the Bostonian Limeade here was that was not it. I think that was the joke drinks that not the virgin drinks that I never got. I think that was that. They actually had them this time.
More beers, less tears.
Oh, okay. So those of you who know the anthology thing, you know who Bernie April's is.
Yep.
No, here's the funny thing. When I got Bernie Aprils to sign the flag, he gave me one of the Uno cards, and that Uno card right there, it's a wild card.
Of course.
It was such beautiful serendipity.
Nice.
And of course, we got funeral beads from the Babscon, from the Beartooth party room. Got a random sunset because that one literally was just given to me. So random sunset.
Well, that's a random sunset Docky keychain.
Yeah. Stickers, pins, more stickers, more pins.
A cute dragon.
Of course, absolutely had
Surf's
to,
up.
absolutely had to get the wild main sticker that was there.
Oh dear.
Oh.
A lot of these are
I
a
can
combination of what I found and what was what I bought. So yeah,
Socially anxious.
I've been considering that pin because it looks like a Spike plush.
it is a Spike plush.
I know. I've been considering
Yeah.
making sure I have the money for it.
Yeah, no, I'm so glad I ran across that and I picked
That
up.
rarity sticker.
Yep.
Real horse.
That Luna pin was definitely something.
Yeah, it's really nice Luna pin. Dang it, who was it? Gobi Raptor. Gobi Raptor actually made that.
That rarity pin with a horse face is pretty well done.
It's a sticker actually, but yeah, it's really nice.
And then the con pin at the end there.
The con pin and also the con drink. This was the raffle prize for just interacting with booths, which I'm okay with. Because, you know, I like collecting these drink cards.
Now that is awesome. The only thing I would say is you didn't go for the Fallout Boy setting.
What?
Sorry, spelling.
What?
Thanks for the memories.
Oh, leave Road alone.
Please tell me the thanks for the memories is a kind of drink where you forget the entire night.
Let's see. Bourbon, schnapps, amaretto, lime juice, and Sprite to top.
Juice.
I don't think you'll forget the night, but it'll definitely get you hazy after a few.
Ah, it's a sneaky one.
Fun.
And of course, I'm not the only one that posted the my vendor haul. Double R also posted a good one too.
Oh, those Funko figures.
We will.
I think he managed to get into some. He managed to get into things that I wasn't able to right off the bat here. So.
Oh, those are signed.
Yep. Got
Yep.
the.
Oh, hey. He's got the Mayhem shirt. I
Yep.
know who designed that. It's designed by Neko Snicker.
Yeah, I think I heard they they sold out, if not almost out of everything in Mayhem, which sucks too, because I don't think I can get anything out of that now.
Hold on. Is that 3 Princess Moon?
Yes.
I have the shirt too. I love that shirt. It is so awesome.
You know, if I didn't look better, I would have said he got Impmon, but no, that's Stolas.
Also got the
that is
Sakis.
Biker Luna. I mean, Biker Celestia.
Yep, from Baron Engel. Really awesome.
And then stuff we can't show here, but if you know that character, you know what it is.
Yeah.
Oh boy, underneath that.
Yeah, they did have an adult vendor haul. What do you expect? Lot of Mayhem stuff. This is really awesome Mayhem stuff.
In fairness, Double R is a part of the Wednesday contingent.
Yeah,
Not always around, but
yeah,
It's always fun.
It's always fun, and I'm glad that he was able to attend it. I really wish it didn't have
And a set of cards.
Yeah. Some awesome badges here too.
Yep.
And, that's about it.
Those
so.
badges look awesome.
Can you scroll up on that
Especially
left
the
side?
small tree hugger.
That is a good smolder.
I've gotten a badge from that same person.
Yeah, I think I've seen it. I saw you actually. When I was looking through the previous comp pics to see if I missed anything, I did run across yours that you had with them.
Yeah, because I still haven't posted my stuff from Harmony. I just need to lay that out and take a picture.
Oh, so that wasn't your
I'm bad
pit,
at that.
That wasn't your pit pedals there?
No, it was. It was stuff beforehand.
No.
That was Rainstorms, I'm guessing.
Yeah, no. The one from the same artist that I have is a Gallus.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just noticed
I
the
think
time
it was a
here.
Gallus and an Octavia. I just know that I got one of those, the pull string, one, badged ones, and then proceeded to lose it on the way to the first Harmony I went to because it was in my coat pocket as I got on the train, and when I got off the train, it wasn't there.
Ugh.
Ooh.
I hate that. I know that feeling and I hate it. All right, we'll get this zoomed in a little bit here. So here's the door spam that we did create the show before. I managed to snip out. There's also a few that were added in, and unfortunately, there was a lot of craziness going on. Apparently, even some door spam was stolen from people, which is really kind of a bummer. Apparently, some door spams they've had since like years ago that they've been reusing. Luckily, mine's just paper, so it doesn't mean a deal to me, but a lot of people did, like, photo prints, so that really sucks.
Wow.
It's not like the end of the world, but it's just kind of a, really, guys, kind of a thing.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. So,
yeah, that's just one of those,
you guys are
don't
a bunch
be
of
a dick.
animals.
Yeah, just come on. Everybody's trying to have fun. What are you doing? I mean, you can steal these all you want. I literally can print these out for pennies, but so it doesn't matter to me all that much.
So
it's
people
just
get the coal drawing of the lemon in the jar.
Yeah, the coal dust is in there. The coal dust has made it to the door.
Yes. Lemon hearts in the beaker.
So, along with that, just to do a final wrap-up of everything. So, yeah, when I did get home, unfortunately, Concrete hit like a freaking freight train. So, Comet Starshot did eventually get home. He had his own problems, unfortunately, because flights got delayed, but he eventually got there. But yeah, I was recovering from sickness for a couple of days, and I think my throat is still a little haggard after that, but my ears kind of pop once in a while. But yeah, no, so this also had a really bad case of concrete, probably also due to the exhaustion I had with trying to get all of this done. And we also found out that the hotel beds are completely horrible for us in the way that it makes all of us snore like freaking monkeys. And I don't know how that works, but it works. We snore too loud. It's terrible. So, but with that all out of the way, the final bits I have heard, and this is against I want to say it's Scuttle because it's still a lot of people looking into possibilities, but it's good. But there's it's hope for the future. Out of the ashes of Babscon, there are currently 4 cons being looked at right now. 4.
At the very least, I
Wow.
would say they would have to be later in 2026, just because.
Well, I mean,
from
yeah.
experience.
Well, I mean, yeah. But here's what is at the moment they're being looked at and planned and thought up. There's nothing concrete here at the moment, but it does give people kind of like the energy, like, ooh, you know, the ride still continues and to hope for something for the near future. But we do got 2 pony conventions being planned. One is being planned, is hopefully being planned for Southern California. The other one is still kind of shopping around for a location. It's being suggested maybe mid-California, but they are also leaning towards south, which is kind of being like, maybe not, you know, because if they do a southern one, doing one in the mid will be pretty messy. But my friend Looney Turtle is actually is apparently looking to be part of the ground floor of the one that may be starting up in the southern part of California, which, yeah, so yeah, it may be the Babscon replacement ultimately, depending. The other 2 cons that were being planned, one is a bunch of the bronies are thinking of starting a furry convention in California. Some of the Babscon staffers are thinking about doing a furry convention instead. Because, you know, diet bronies and diet furries, we hear about that plenty.
I mean, they're not wrong.
Yep, so that is one possibility there too. And I heard that the head of Babscon is also thinking of starting a new convention series, but this one based off of Western animation. So instead of just being stuck in the Brony fandom, it can expand more into things like Has-Been Hotel, Hell of a Boss, and other like Avatar: Last Airbender, and maybe even like older stuff like Jackie Chan Adventures. Who knows? You know, I'm not putting, don't put words into my mouth on that one. I know they're looking at Western animation on that. And that, my friends, that is Babscon in a nutshell, or what I was able to experience of it while I was still alive. I do believe if they do have anything left, let's see. I think, let's try bringing it up.
Let's see if the shop on Etsy.
The shop is still closed on Etsy, but they're probably still cleaning things up. So, if there is, to my understanding, if they do have things left over, I believe they are going to be putting it on their Etsy. So there is still the possibility of grabbing things if they still have leftovers. It might be just like pins and buttons and maybe a T-shirt or 2. They did have some really awesome cape, towel, blanket things going around, but those sold out ridiculously fast, so I don't think there are going to be any more of those coming out, which I'm partly pissed about. That's kind of why I was so annoyed.
Well, you never know, because people keep buying BronyCon lanyards for some reason.
Lanyards are a little bit different from a freaking blanket, sure, but that's a fair enough point. In any case, with that is going to be
the lanyards were probably, there was a box that was found.
And with that, that's going to be it for both our Babscon retrospective. No video segment again. I'm sorry. That means that next week we are definitely going to, maybe we'll make next week just like a big video segment week. But for now, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the Brony show as it is. I do want to thank you all for joining me once again for all of this. If you did not have the chance to experience Babscon, I do feel bad for you. That really does suck. But there's also the hope that more cons will come up, and there's also the cons that are still going on, such as Everfree, HarmonyCon. There's ones across the pond, Ponyville Cider Fest,
Winnie City.
Thank you.
Yeah, Winnie's taking a break this year, but should be coming back.
Oh, screw it. I'll even say those. There's also Mare Fair. You know what? Mare Fair's run okay.
There's always Trot.
There's Trot, too.
If you want to go to Ohio.
There's Trot in Ohio. There's Sequestria Fest.
Yep.
There's a lot of good cons out there. And even Mare Fair's okay. Just keep in mind, it's not the staff. The staff are pretty awesome. But it's unfortunately some of the con goers, but that's kind of every con. You're going to have jerks.
Yeah.
Did we mention...
From CNC's perspective, it's always a crapshoot either way.
There's always
you mentioned Sequestria. Yeah, sorry.
People.
Yeah, I was dancing around it, but I'm just like, you know what? No. Let's give Sequestria Fest out there, dude. Come on. Just give cons a chance. You know, don't believe all this...
I honestly don't know much about Sequestria aside from like looking at where it is on Google Maps. It's just really hard to get to.
Oh no, it's a pain in the butt to get to. But yeah, if you're in the East Coast, it might be one of your best bets because it's one of the few bets.
It's true. I will it's interesting because like the decision of the location, like I'm sure there's like a really solid reason behind it. I'm sure it's like a really cool area, but like if you're a person like me who's like, all right, how do I get there without being a person who drives?
Yeah,
it is really inconvenient because like it is in Maryland, but it's harder for me to get to than DC.
Yep. There's also Vancouver if you're feeling crazy enough to go across country lines. I mean, it's in Canada, and it's not exactly hard to get to be honest. Just you need a passport.
Or if you can't go to any cons, there's always the online convention.
There's always online conventions too. There's plenty of options. And there may be progenitors from Babscon. So, Pony is still alive and well. I really hate that people say it's dying.
There's always a place to have fun.
It's not dying, it's just quieting down, but that's what every fandom does. It quiets down. What can you do?
Also, it's descendants, not progenitors. Progenitors mean it came from.
It technically is progeniting.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, anytime I hear anyone say that the fandom's dying, people have been literally saying that since season 2.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
I'm just tired of everybody saying anything's dying. It just.
Sorry, do we need that Saber Spark video?
No.
I heard like.
I think we just need to wrap up here.
I heard people in the model train community talking about how the hobby is dying for like basically my entire life, and when you look at it now, the hobby was actually doing pretty good for a while. Like we were getting some really nice models for a relatively okay price for what you got, and like, you know,
I think people just run really hard right off the bat, and then when they have to quiet down, they think it's dying instead of just realizing, no, you just kind of went too hard.
They do the ADD thing where they put too much energy into 2 months, and when they come back out of it after 2 months after that, they feel like nothing's there.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and wrap. That's enough philosophy. Let's get shout-outs here. Coldust.
Hi.
Shout out.
Shoutouts to model trains. I want to get some. Also, shoutouts to. Shoutouts to all the amazing artists out there in the fandom, because like there are a bunch of them that are really amazing. I've already mentioned a few of them just this show. Such as Neko Snicker, who you should check out. Neko Snicker, they have some stuff posted to their Blue Sky and Twitter and YouTube. Yeah, go check them out. As well as Azura Comet, who I also mentioned in the picture, who makes some really awesome music. Check her out too, Azura Comet.
All right, Chris Captain.
Fire explosion, pasta, Venstrick, yellow, roan things. We'll be doing something for sure on Thursday. Keep an eye on the Discord about if I do anything Wednesday night.
All right, DM21.
Have a great week. Stay healthy and get some sleep.
All right, Textalion.
Bye, all.
Tokoi.
Thank you all for hanging out with us. We'll be over on the Vaughn in a bit. There's a link. Have fun!
And Tsuki of the Otaku Ascended. Tsuki, are you there?
Muted.
You might be muted.
I think he's currently muted. He might be doing stuff.
Yeah.
But pulling from the quote of Suki and the book of Suki, patches 3, go the fuck to sleep.
That just didn't feel right.
I know, I'm not Suki.
Well, if he comes back, he can tell us all off himself. But for those of you who are still with us, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of The Brony Show. Please be sure to tune in on Thursday for the rainy stream party of Shenanigan Refund. I don't know what I'm calling it anymore, but it's the Thursday rainy stream. Check it out. Also Sunday, Circuits Gaming Room. We are back in streaming, and we're going to be in Pal World because we are getting smarter, we're getting stronger, and we're blowing things up even more rampantly. So things are going to get really interesting as we check out the new content. And along with that, keep an eye out on the Discord for random streams and things, because I do want to get up and streaming again soon. And the best way to find out if and when is the Discord when announcements are made. Also, be sure to tune in an hour early on show days on Monday for the pre-show with Cold Dust and Crew doing pre-show fun, which is always a great time. And once again, as mentioned, we do have the Coffee House After Party, which is only live, only on our Vaughn. So if you are not here catching us live, unfortunately, you will not be able to see it because we do not record it. This is just for our own fun and our own shenanigans. And a quick shout out to Chris and Captain for keeping an eye out on the IRC chat. Thank you to Chaos Sakai, Colby, Fantastic Fred, Sonic 5.21, Techman Tech Sound the Second, Vaguely Creepy, and yay, Archivers. And while I still have a voice, because I'm not going to lie, my throat is really starting to hamburger up at this point. Thank you all for joining us for another episode of The Brony Show. Thank you so much for being part of it, whether if you are watching our live streams on YouTube and Twitch or watching archives wherever the archives might be uploaded on YouTube, Twitch, PonyTube, or wherever else we are going to be working on getting archives. Thank you. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Thank you so much for being a part of the community. And thank you so much for, if you are new, if you've been here for a long time, however long or however you've come about, it doesn't matter to me. What matters is you're here and you're having fun with all of us, and hopefully you're having a great time, because I like to have a great time with all of you too. Unfortunately, we do not have a close-out song for tonight because of time, so we're just going to go ahead and wrap it all up here. But I hope you all have a good night, and we'll see you all next time. Night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Hello.
Bye.
Coffee House After Party coming up on the Vaughn. We'll see you there.